Hi. Hello, welcome to another Straw Hat Reader Star Slug Manga Club, reading video VOD. Uh, I want to apologize. So it doesn't happen until like the very end, really. I would say like 85% through this VOD, but I accidentally turned up the video, like not the video, the background music like really loud. You can still hear us for the most part, but it does get really loud. I'm really sorry. I'm not able to like edit that post stream because it was in the stream, and I don't have like separate audios for it as it's recording. So I'm really sorry. I'm so sorry. But it's after we're already done with all of the discussion about Punk Hazard, so at least there's that. Enjoy. I'm so sorry. It'll never happen again. Enjoy anyway. Thank you for watching. Hello.
Swish.
Hello. Oh my god, it's like right over Dawn's head. That's okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Starlake Observatory. My name is Trips Starlake, and after a week-long break, I'm finally been let out of my cage to talk about One Piece. Yay, Dr. Toto Hex, thank you very much for the 14-month slugling sub. I just realized that this happens every other One Piece review. You're right.
I know. You do like every other
You're
review.
right. And J2Fly, thank you very much for joining the observatory. And yes, I'm here today with the Straw Hat Readers. I guess that's what we're calling ourselves now.
Oh yeah.
And it works, I think. And yeah, we read Punk Hazard, which was actually a bit shorter, which was kind of okay because we read like 80 chapter arcs. That's
Yeah.
the last chapter that we have read is 699.
Yeah. So no spoilers after that, please.
Yes, please. Thank you. But my friends Dr. Toto Hex, Realm, and Paper Dawn are here, and I'll let them introduce themselves. Yes.
Hello, it's Dr. Toto Hex, the smartest science turtle, and your Ocean Ronin-chan. Hi.
Hey guys, Realm here, Professor Guide to the Stars, local samurai enjoyer. Happy to be back.
Paper Dawn. Period.
Channel artist.
Yeah.
Channel R is doer of things.
Yeah, doer of creative things inconsistently.
Doer of things. We have the Enel face now in chat too, in case you.
Oh yeah,
my
I
God!
forgot I should.
It's
Wait,
ready.
Dawn, can you draw this? This is amazing.
Yeah, Dawn does all my emotes.
So good.
It's amazing because some of my chatters love it and the other half hate it. It's so funny. it's
They can fight.
contentious.
I thought that was really funny. You asked me that with like total
Sorry.
like.
Don't mind this.
Total-
I'm just fussing stuff.
Oh, right, hang on.
You're good.
I like how you asked for that commission like with total formality, like no like joke or anything. You're just like, yeah, just the anal face, and I'm like, this is awesome. Like, why are you not like?
I was like, how do I tell you? I don't know. Here you go. Because I'm really weird when it comes to commissioning. I always like to fill out a little form.
No, it's. I think we've talked about this, but it's extremely helpful. But it was just funny how I'm like, it's almost like the way you were wording it. I'm like, I can see her like keeping a straight face, asking for this, and me like trying not to like laugh
Right.
hysterically.
I was like, how do I word this? I don't know. Here you go.
It's funny. It was really
Yeah.
funny though. I thought it turned out pretty
It
good.
was great. Yes, I like it a lot, even if
Hell yeah.
some people
I
don't.
love it. It's so good.
It's funny. So yes, that was my like charity dono emote picked from voting, so it's good.
Such detail.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And yeah, we're here to discuss Punk Hazard today. I finished it yesterday, so it's fresh in my brain. I think, hopefully, maybe.
Yeah, a lot of different themes happened in this arc,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it felt like not a lot happened, in my opinion. But that's just me.
Yeah, it was a mixed bag in my opinion.
There's a lot happening. Some of it I really liked, and some of it I was like, oh, to why? But
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
but we can talk about it as we go through the chapters. I can't spoil. No, don't spoil.
And no spoilers. I'm caught up with the series, but the other three, they are not.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I really don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty completely in the dark now.
Yeah,
Like,
we're
I know like
reaching
little
like
things,
unknown
but,
waters,
yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah, unknown waters.
yeah, truly.
I think The best thing, like I think this is fine to say. The best thing for me was the cover art on chapter 666 to
Yes.
confirm
Yeah.
that Von Clay's alive.
Yeah, oh my god,
And
I
I
was so
like
happy.
that it was kind of tasteful. It wasn't like his face or anything.
No, but you knew.
But it was just them like dancing in
My,
the secret level of hell.
I gotta take a picture of this and send it to you guys later. But my friend went to a convention. He got me a little pin of Bon Clay. It's like a
Yeah.
little star-shaped pin with Bon Clay. It's really good art too. It's awesome.
It's great.
What a
Aw.
legend.
Yeah, what a legend. Yeah, I was very happy to see that.
Bon Clay is so cool.
Yeah.
My favorite character is Bon Clay.
Your favorite character is Von Clay?
Probably.
I love Robin. Robin's my favorite character.
Robin.
someone say Robin.
Robin's good.
I think.
Evie.
Yeah, Vivi.
Yeah,
They did drop a Vivi real quick. I'm
They
just
did,
saying.
yeah.
That was
That was weird. Sometimes the chapter art is like actually like canon relevant, and then sometimes it's just like random nonsense.
Oh yeah, no, I like the random nonsense. It's always them like hanging out with animals. It's sometimes
Yeah.
it's like just viewer picks. Like viewers will
Oh,
send in
okay.
what
Just like
draw.
Yeah.
suggestions. That's fun.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay.
people are just like, draw this, and you're like, huh?
Yeah, it was like her taking care of like a sick frog or something, and I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
Mhm.
God, I wish that was.
Oh my god. Princess and the Frog.
If he's just hanging out in the background.
My favorite characters changes like all the time. I don't know. I really like Frankie though right now because he's
Frankie's
a big
cool.
robot.
Oh yeah, that's true. Frankie's
Oh my
robot
god, I
is more
loved.
stuff in this arc.
Yeah.
He was awesome. Everybody thought he was awesome, except for when he was, Chopper, and then Nico's like, maybe like never, just don't ever talk. I mean, again,
know.
great, you got it back. Never do anything you just did ever again.
Yeah.
I do love Robin's straight manners to
Yeah,
everyone's
yeah,
goofiness.
yeah.
Yeah,
I like
do
how
like.
she just interacts with the crew more, you know.
Yeah, she's becoming like more like mom of the crew now.
Yeah.
I'm seeing, which is
Yeah.
fun. That's like a fun dynamic for her.
And she has her like I like how all of the Straw Hats kind of have their own like little style of gags. Like Brooke is puns
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh
like,
yeah.
Robin's is like dark humor.
Yes. And she says something horrible and she's just like smiling serenely.
She's just like, I wonder if they all burnt to death.
Hee hee.
Yeah. Yeah, she's cool.
Yeah. Oh gosh. So I guess getting into it, it starts with the Straw Hats leaving Fishman Island, and they are fishing while they're still underwater, right?
Oh
trying to
yeah, forgot about that.
get-
Yeah.
And then there's just a joke where like the bigger fish eats the bigger fish eats the bigger fish.
Yeah. And they
Yeah.
all get sucked into this giant current.
Yeah. It's called like a white storm. I don't remember.
I saw that for a second, then I kept saying it. I'm like, Strum.
Strum.
And
Yeah.
that's a real thing in nature. Some of the stuff they do.
You're
Some
probably
real stuff.
right, and I just don't know.
I
'Cause I'm
doubt it
not a
functions the same way it did
meteorologist.
there.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't there a term like maelstrom
Yeah.
for like
Yeah, Maelstrom
center
is
of
storm,
a
though.
wandering disaster? I think.
That's true.
Yeah,
Actually.
Maelstrom, a powerful whirlpool in the sea or a river.
Oh.
Mm.
But I actually played it. Oh. How about that?
I think. Yeah. They get the Thousand Sunny gets sucked into it, and then there's a bunch of whales, right? And everybody.
Mhm.
And Brooke is so excited about the whales.
Oh yeah, they look like Laboon. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
weird.
It was interesting.
I think it's a good mirror of what happened when they first passed Reverse Mountain, which is like when they started the Grand Line and they saw a whale, and now they're entering the new world and then
Oh,
they're seeing
yes.
a big pot of whales.
And now it's like a bunch of whales. It's kind of cool to show
Mhm.
like the difference.
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cute.
There's all the different ones. Brooke starts singing.
Oh, I love that. I love that so much.
Yeah. And then
That's
the whales, they like the song, so they like help the Straw Hats out. to
Oh
get
my
to the
god.
surface.
One day they will like be reunited with Laboon.
I hope yes.
One day. Oh. Yeah. So they get everything is like bad when they get to the surface. Like everything's on fire, right? The ocean's on
Yeah,
fire.
the water's on fire. Every fish is dying or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh dear. like there's an island up ahead, but the New World log post is not pointing towards it. And so Nami doesn't want to go there. But Luffy does because it looks scary and cool.
Mhm.
Is that before they get the call?
No, I think it's like a same time kind of.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they get a call that's like for help coming from the island.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
Asking
That's
for
like
help.
that's like one of my favorite parts. I think when he answers the phone and he's like, "This is Luffy. I'm gonna be king of the pirates," and they're like, "Why would you say that?"
Hi, this is Luffy. I'm the King of the Pirates.
Hi.
Literally.
Luffy.
Hi, I'm a
how
Capricorn. I'm gonna be king
Such
of the
a
pirates.
funny idea. It's
That's
like
how
he
he
just
answers the phone.
yeah, because like there's like a whole panel of like Robin being like, "No, the chances are like 50% that it's actually a genuine signal. It's probably just the Marines." And Usopp's like, "That's so smart. Thank God we have Robin." And he's like, "Hello, this is Luffy, the pirate, who's gonna be king of the pirates." What a funny idea.
I know. It was a very Luffy thing to do.
Yeah.
So I think is it that the G5 not pirates, the Marines, they overhear the conversation, right?
Oh, they're wiretapping.
They're wiretapping,
Yeah.
yeah. So they hear
Yeah.
the conversation happening. So
Yeah, they're wiretapping with their special transponder snails.
yeah, they're special snails. So Smoker and Tashigi are like trying to trail the Straw Hats.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they draw straws and to go to the fire island.
Yeah, and Nami like makes a cloud pathway
Mhm.
Oh
for
yeah,
them to go on. And I
which is
do,
like a cool callback to Skypiea.
yes, I did really like the straws because like Zoro and Robin were like, "Cool, we get to go," and Usopp's like crying
Yeah.
because he doesn't want to go.
Well, last time he like drew the short end of the stick, it was Thriller Bark, and he also like got stuck there,
That's true.
so he's traumatized.
That's true.
Yeah, he's got bad luck with the draws.
I've been strucken with disease. I really don't want to go on this island disease.
I do like that this like helps explore some pairings that you don't often see though, with like Robin, Usopp, and
Mhm.
Robin and Zoro.
Yeah,
That's true.
cool.
That is true. Yeah, they go on the mini Mary to go
Mhm.
around. When I saw that picture, I was like, "Who's driving the mini Mary?" And then I see it's Robin's arms sticking out. It's like,
Oh,
oh, that
yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah.
She's just sitting in the back, chilling, eating.
Well, who else would you trust to drive it?
Not.
If
Yeah.
Luffy drove it, he would like crash it. If Zoro drove it, they would go the wrong direction. If Usopp drove it, they would go back.
Yeah, they would go back. So it has to be
Yeah.
Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they get there and it's like everything is horrible and on fire and Usopp's like, I can't go onto New Island's disease. I'm sorry.
When they see a dragon, right?
Yeah, there's
Yeah, it's a chronic condition. He can't go on New Islands.
chronic condition. It's very new. It's emerging.
Mhm.
But yeah, they go out anyway. I'm like, how are they like not like just bursting into flames too? I don't know. They're special. They have
Rubber is an insulator.
yeah. I meant the
I
other
don't know about
ones.
straw. Straw would probably burst into flames.
Yeah. Or melting, I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. They made a
Yeah,
dragon.
dragon.
You're right. Like almost
Mhm.
instantly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a dragon with 6 legs.
Yeah.
Because it has 2 extra legs, just human legs sticking
Mhm.
out of it.
I was like, whoa, cool. I don't know, because it's a new thing.
Yeah, it was weird. I mean, even after the arc, I'm like, that's kind of out of nowhere. But I mean, like, I kind of get what it's going for, but like, it was really weird. I
It
was
was
like,
very
oh,
weird.
a dragon?
There's a lot of weird stuff that happens in this arc. Let's not kid
Yeah.
ourselves.
That's true.
Because they find the half a man who talks by farting.
That's true. They find half a man stuck to the dragon farting. And he talks,
Yep.
and he is farting. Not the dragon is not farting.
Yeah.
Oh. That's weird.
Yeah, and Luffy's immediately like, you should join our crew.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
it's weird.
Luffy just likes weird.
And he wants to be a
People.
centaur. He wants the legs to attach to him so he can be
Oh,
a
yeah.
centaur.
hmm
Oh yeah, he puts it on his back or whatever.
Yeah. And let's fight him, and he's like, "Betrayal! How dare you!"
Betrayal. Yes. It's very weird. And then Luffy and Zoro fight the dragon. Right.
Yeah, and Zoro just cuts its head off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think they eat it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they eat it.
They
Yeah.
do big, nice.
There's
chunky
like
cubes.
monsters. I love this idea. They just kill anything and eat it.
Oh my god.
They are
Yeah.
monsters.
They're such warriors. It's like,
Speaking of monsters, this is actually also a reference to like Oda's one-shot monsters, which he
Oh.
did, where he had a dragon, and the way Zoro cuts the dragon's head off is actually very similar to the fight scene of Ryoma versus the dragon from Monsters.
Huh.
interesting.
Cool. I didn't know.
Yeah, and Zoro even has one of Ryoma's swords, her sword he got back on
Wow.
Thriller Bark.
So yeah, the other Straw Hats get kidnapped.
Oh yeah,
'cause
you're
they
right.
They got like drugged.
They
or I
get
guess
not
kidnapped
drugged,
by
but
the
they get something.
Monsters Inc. people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they do look like the monsters. people.
They totally do.
What was the
Mike
code? It was
Wazowski.
The CDA agents, yeah.
got to file your paperwork.
But they don't take Brooke because they think he's dead, probably.
Yeah, I think he's already dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they
And then-
tried to like call him. They try to call Thousand Sunny, but they don't answer because they're. Or then Brooke eventually answers, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, they're
But
all
then they're-
gone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think that it's like they're locked up and they see the guy's head, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they find the guy's head that's all chopped up, and they try to like repuzzle him back together. And I think they put his chin on top of his head for a bit.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they get his like chin and his forehead mixed up.
Eh,
And then Brooke
Which
finds
looked
his,
good anyway, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, Brooke finds his upper body and starts dueling him.
Yes.
Oh yes.
It's just there's just a samurai cut up into 3 pieces,
It's
just
fair.
scattered around the island.
It's like it's a weird arc, and I feel like it's weirder than Thriller Bark because Thriller Bark had like a theme.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, this
I
is
felt like
the most.
theme was a little out all over the place.
Yeah, I went to this arc knowing nothing, not even knowing its like setting. So
Yeah, me
it was
neither.
pretty cool, like to be like, what is happening
What is
right now? Then
going
they
on?
and like right after they find his head, they go into a room of giant babies, and I'm like,
Yeah.
they're like giant toddlers, and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, they're
Like, what is
And there's
happening?
yetis, and there's snow on that side of the island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. Half of it is snow and half of it is
Yeah.
fire.
I like the
magma.
setting of the island, but they don't really do a lot with that.
No, and I guess they explain why it is the way it is, and that's cool. But
Mhm.
I guess there's not a lot to do on the island though, so I guess it kind of
Yeah,
is
I
what it is.
guess so. And I guess we've been on Snow Island before.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's not a lot you can do on an island that's just on fire.
I feel like it didn't really, the concept is kind of wasted on this island because they don't really need it to have the story make sense.
Yeah.
It's honestly, in some ways, like there's one side is burning and like later there's like a lot of like toxic gas. It's like how would the fire react to that? I was like wondering, like I'm surprised like Oda's pretty thorough with that stuff, but he
Mhm.
doesn't really explain that. And I'm like, I
Guess
wonder what
it's not
side's
react
safer.
to That doesn't really make any sense though, because most toxic gases are incredibly flammable. But-
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, like even Caesar Clown later does use explosive gas too. Like
yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I don't know.
would have
Actually,
been an interesting idea for them to have to stay on one side because like the gas is like less potent on one side because it's like the temperature changing and stuff. I don't know.
I do.
One thing I do like is that like usually when the protagonists arrive on the island, it's usually like, oh, this is like they came at like the perfect time to like change the whole setting and everything. But this time it's like, no, this place has already been fucked over.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it's pretty much done.
like
yeah.
it's already like they're looking at the like after effects and dealing with like the after effects of a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
To be fair, it got even worse as the arc went on.
It's
Oh yeah, yeah. It did not get better.
No, they just.
So they got there just in time for like round 2 of this
Yeah.
island like getting
Yeah.
destroyed.
It's very true. Oh gosh.
So, who wants to explain what the hell is going on this weird island with samurai parts and giant babies?
That's hard. That's a
I must
hard
say,
thing
I
to
was
do.
I had to stop like twice. I was thoroughly confused. I was just like, I love different elements, but like this is not cohesive at the moment. It's just
Yeah.
a cluster.
I definitely think it was going for that. Like at some point, it was like this
Yeah.
is just supposed to be all over the place. Like
I
it's
think
kind of the chaotic
what it
nature
was
of
trying to do was just trying to set up a lot of stuff for future arcs, but he
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
crammed them all into one spot. Like individually, I think like they're interesting, but when they're all put together in this kind of like
Yeah.
slapshot manner, it's a little messy.
At some point, I was like, I think I'm just supposed to be confused because everybody, is not who they are, and
yeah.
Yeah.
I think immediately they kind of established that like the island is really weird. You know, obviously it's like half and half,
Yeah.
like half fire. Like that doesn't make any sense. Like everything's topsy turvy here.
Yeah.
So like I think I remember that reading that chapter where they find the samurai's head, and then they immediately find the room of giant like toddlers. I was like, oh, okay, this is like trying to be very strange and weird. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, it is a lot of establishing things, but it's funny how like obviously I think the tone is supposed to be like, what the heck is going on here? You know, like.
Yeah, I think it is.
But yeah, I guess like slowly you find out that what's going on, right? Like how the
Yeah.
island functions.
I
Well, I
feel like
guess
it's a mystery, but not a very good, like not a very satisfying mystery, you know?
no, you don't
No.
find there's no like drop like big reveal drops. It's more just like slowly trickling information to you,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
and like it doesn't really make sense when you get to it. Like when you find out. When you find out why the samurai is cut in 3 pieces, you still don't really get it. You're just kind of like,
Like,
oh, I guess that's just
okay.
like what law does. Like,
Yeah.
okay, like,
Yeah. It's like a mystery where like the answer is, oh, it was this character you never met before.
I thought one of the
It's like,
laziest
okay.
one of the laziest ones in my opinion was, I mean, we'll get to it later, but like with his son, the samurai's
Oh,
son,
right.
he just like shows up, and I'm like, oh, there he is.
Yeah, oh, there he is. I know. I know.
I
It was,
know,
like,
no
so
clues,
weird.
Just like popped out of thin air.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
So,
But yeah, I guess what's it called? You meet Law. Well, you see Law again, I guess.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
already.
do like when they meet Law. It's not the Straw Hats who meet Law. It's G5 who
Yeah.
meets Law, and they're
Yeah.
like, "We're looking for the Straw Hats," and Law's like, "They're not
like,
here."
they're
Yeah,
not
it's like
here.
they actually are here, and then they run, then they
And then
burst
they-
in.
And
Yeah,
then-
they burst out from behind it.
Yeah, because the Straw Hats that got captured, like they escape with Frankie's radical beam, and then they
Yeah.
like meet the children. The children are like, "Please save us."
Mhm.
You know, I think Law is such a great character for like the Straw Hats. Like I'm kind of like I'm glad he's not part of their crew, obviously, but like I really was, because I was not sure how this character was going to be, but I think him being like the kind of edgy straight man to
Yeah,
like just
yeah.
the like
So
ridiculousness
edgy. You
of
get it, you
like
get it, yes.
yeah.
He's like the shonen protagonist from a different
Yeah,
TV
he
show.
is. Yeah.
Crossed over.
He should have
and
been.
He's just like,
Actually,
It's
he's just
really
like, what
funny.
the hell is happening?
His reactions are really funny. Like him just like the one panel of him being like, what? Like how did they show up out of nowhere? And then Smoker's like, you just said they weren't here, and he's like, I must
I had
admit,
nothing
I'm a
to
little
do with
taken
it."
back myself.
like,
Oh, and later they like tie Chopper to his hat. He's just
Yeah.
like, no.
no, he can't be on my hat. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty funny reactions. It's like somebody trying to act really cool and like
Yeah.
aloof, but like in front of Luffy. Like,
Okay.
Yeah. That part is good.
he's also just like he's got a really good design. He's
Yeah.
really cool looking.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, he's the Tumblr sexy man.
He
of One
absolutely
Piece.
is.
But he deserves it.
They
He
play it off for
deserves it.
jokes. They like shit all over him all the time, and it's so good.
Like,
Yeah.
in my experience with One Piece and Tumblr, I mostly see pictures of him, and I didn't even know who he was until recently.
yeah.
His power
I
makes
mean-
literally no sense though.
He
So
has
it's
the
like
OP fruit.
Yeah, he's a POP.
it's literally it is. I never thought about that.
When they said the op fruit, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
it's OP.
yeah. It's,
Wow, I wonder if
he,
Oda knew.
he basically plays Photoshop with people's bodies.
Mm-hmm.
He drags a big select window around everyone, and then
Yeah.
he can play Photoshop with their bodies. That's
I'm
what
like-
it is.
I'm so it's like wow, man, it's cool. It's an interesting idea, but I'm just really surprised that Oda would right? A power like that. I always
Really?
think about it feels like a JoJo power. I don't
Mm.
know why.
Really?
Yeah, there's
Because
like
his power is just kind of like Buggy's fruit, except he does it to other people,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah,
it
I
was.
guess.
Yeah.
Well,
They actually say
yeah,
that
I guess
at some
so,
point
but
too.
doesn't he also like do it's kind of implied that he can like manipulate like anything in his circle. Like doesn't he like teleport and stuff in there too?
He doesn't teleport, he swaps places with something. So
Oh,
Mhm.
kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little wacky.
no, it is
but
a very OP fruit.
yeah.
Like it is very
It was
very
like it's
OP.
one of the first definitely one of the first ones where I'm like, man, how would Luffy even beat this guy? Like he just
There
like
is,
snaps his
Yeah.
fingers and he wins. Like what a weird
the closest
concept.
thing I could think of is, well, this is like a fate thing, but like in fate you can have like a certain manifestation of, I don't know, if you can conjure enough like magic, you can create like a reality marble, and but that's like a whole nother world, but essentially he created his own world within the world,
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
so.
which you could do like whatever you want. And it's based
Yeah.
off your emotions, your obviously
It's,
physical attributes or whatever you want to do.
Mhm.
yeah, I just personally thought it was kind of OP because it doesn't seem like there's any limits to it right now. Maybe there will be later on. I don't really know.
Yeah. He does kind of get
Kind of
hurt
like just
while using
owns
it.
all of G5 like very
Yeah.
fast.
He gets like punched down by Smoker while using it, but even then I'm like, what like in that moment I'm like, why doesn't he just teleport away?
Well, I
it's like
assume
he's in his circle. Like
I assume it takes like an obnoxious amount of energy to do.
Yeah.
maybe, yeah.
I'm sure it takes some stamina, but even then, he was like smashing the whole ship apart,
Yeah.
like pretty easily.
Also, and like on like yeah, physical stuff he does, but then like he swaps their personalities, which is more of like a. I thought like
yeah.
if he would have done that, I would have thought he would just like take their brains and put them into each other. But he does this like weird kind
His
of
heart
like
swap.
It's hard.
yeah, but like not
He does the
really their
Manaphy
hearts.
War.
Like it's like their
Yeah.
like personal. He's able to take their personalities.
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah,
what?
like taking metaphysical stuff too.
There's
It's
soul.
very
so
very
I
interesting.
think I can say this because Smoker does actually have a really quick throwaway line. He tells Tashigi to back off because her hockey is not strong enough. So like if you do have strong enough hockey, you can resist his powers.
Okay.
Okay.
I see.
Interesting. I did like this scene. I'm just like scrolling through the manga while we were talking about it. I do like the scene when when Robin, Luffy, Zoro, and Usopp are really cold and they see like those soldiers. They're like, "We gotta get them," and they're like, "Your clothes look nice and warm."
Yeah, and then the next shot, they just have the sweaters.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and then they have to cross like the boiling lake to the other
Yeah.
side of the island.
And they are in a banana boat.
And then
Oh, yeah,
they're
the
just,
banana boat.
but no, they just are like, first they're like, oh, you two just carry us across because we can't swim. We're devil fruit users.
I know.
Oh yeah.
And then Usopp is just like, no, we're gonna burn to death. Are you kidding?
I love that too because Robin's just smile the whole. She's
Yeah,
like,
Robin
Yeah.
smiles and imagines it too.
Yep.
Yeah,
just carry-
she's like,
just
"That'd be
carry me
funny."
across." It's great.
I almost forget that Robin's a devil fruit user. Like she's such a different type
Yeah.
of like, dynamic when it comes to like, Chopper and Frankie. It's like, oh yeah, she is also one of them. So it's
Frankie's
like
not a devil fruit user.
not Frankie,
Frankie's
I meant
just-
Brooke. I meant
Frankie's
Brooke,
just-
yeah.
He's just a robot.
Yeah.
It's a funny robot. Can he swim?
Yeah, he can swim.
Yeah, he can swim. I
With
think
that
in
big
the
ass
first,
body? He can swim?
I think so. I'm sure he's like planned for this, and he
Oh,
has
okay.
like gas powered farts, so he
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
true,
fine.
yeah. He can make it work.
He can make it work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how all the kids like think Frankie's so cool, like he's a super cool toy, and then he goes into like tank mode and carries them around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm glad he actually chooses to have different hair.
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
I don't like him with the like,
buzz cut.
straight the
Yeah,
buzz
no.
cut.
He has,
I like how he has hair.
A few different haircuts throughout
What
this
is his
one.
hair during this one? Is it?
It's like
Oh.
the
It's like
blue
horns.
hair,
I don't
kinda,
know.
a little bit.
And then near the
Yeah,
end, he
no,
does
it's
this
like stag
classic.
beetle hair.
Stag
Yeah.
beetle hair. Okay.
And then near the end, he does this classic like, swoopy like up hair, and I'm like, oh, I miss it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I like his
Mhm.
Ace Ventura hair. Sigh.
I like also how Nami is the one who really cares about the kids because
Yeah.
she was also like an abandoned kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's like, we
That's
gotta
sweet.
save him.
And then Sanji becomes like very protective over this samurai dude because, like, Sanji's not a good person, but he's a kind person. Even though he doesn't act like it, he does care.
Yeah.
I think
He has
care of people.
values.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, you've become my problem, so we have to solve
Sanji
this
was
now.
Yeah.
Sanji was about 7,000 times more tolerable in this arc, or not, maybe like 500 times more tolerable. But he did have a few scenes that bugged me. But
Yeah.
for the most part, he was fine. But no, yeah, there was a section of it where I was like, okay, please stop.
I
And then he did
know.
stop, so I was like, okay, at least he's kind of stopping for a bit.
He did stop, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of that,
But
section,
last
I
arc
think
was
we
just
can get
rough.
to it.
It's a
with,
rough Sanji arc.
With Trafalgar Law seeing the Straw Hats, he like stabs them from behind and swaps their personalities randomly.
I
So
don't
now
know
they're
why.
all
I
in
still don't
different
know why he
bodies.
does that, but
Because it's a
like,
funny trope. I don't know why.
I don't
I
know
don't
when
remember.
that trope happened. It was not
I
plot
have no
relevant.
idea.
Nothing
It was
changed.
very. I remember just thinking, I was like, oh, wait, why did he do that?
It is weird
Yeah.
because it doesn't really have any implications, really.
Yeah, and it doesn't add anything to like the
No.
plot. It doesn't become
Yeah,
plot
it's like, is he
relevant,
just
and
trying to
it
like
gets brought
mess
back
with?
later.
He's like just trying to mess with them, like.
No, I think the only thing that it really changes is because Frankie uses the ball, the ball that makes Chopper go big.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. He uses monster form and loses control
Yeah,
immediately.
and so when he finally switches his personality back to himself, he can't move. So
Oh
poor
yeah,
yeah.
so Chopper can move. Oh yeah, and then Sanji in Nami's body does get separated. So Sanji is in Nami's body, Nami is in Frankie's body, Frankie is in Chopper's body, and Chopper is in Sanji's body.
Yes.
That make any sense?
Does that make any sense?
They do a really good job showing that in like the first panel. He's just like such a master at that, where it's like
Yeah.
their eyes are slightly changed, and like I
Yeah.
think they have
But
each
then he
one
was like,
line
people
that.
are still gonna get confused, so let's just duct tape like their actual
Yeah.
faces onto the person,
Yeah.
which is like okay.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, I feel like he could have easily, like, if he was truly trying. I know he wasn't like, he's not enemies with the Straw Hats, but if he was like trying to like actually stop them, he probably could have done a lot more than just like do wacky swap personality on them.
Yeah. But I
I
think
still don't know really why he did it, because he in the end his plan was to team up with the Straw Hats.
yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Just like he just felt a little silly, it felt a little trolly right there.
Can't see it, but I'm chugging over here.
It was a little bit. Yeah, I can't shrug either.
Yeah.
Oh well. But yeah, I think. Oh gosh. So
Then what's happened
I guess-
after that?
there's they take all the kids to like go hide them from Master and like figure out what to do with them, but gosh, there's like
Yeah,
a lot of
Smoker
things
and
happening.
Tashigi get captured
Yeah,
as
they
well.
get captured as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think the Straw Hats end up being captured too. Like Law helps, and didn't Law get captured?
Law's working with them. At the moment, Law was working with Caesar, so he
Mhm.
Yeah.
captured the G5 guys. I'm pretty sure. Or I think he just captures Smoker. I think the rest of them
Yeah,
get
yeah.
away.
Mhm.
And then
Yeah, he captures Smoker. You're right.
I don't think they
Because he takes
did
his
capture?
heart.
I don't remember. Yeah. And then you do meet the Monet.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
kind of hot
yes,
though. She's
Monet.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's pretty. I liked her,
Mhm.
even if she's evil.
I like her goofy glasses.
Yes, I like
Yeah,
her
that's
reading
funny.
There's no
glasses.
reason for it. She just has like those swirly glasses.
She
Yeah,
had
why
them for like
not?
2 seconds though. I was like, come on, you should wear them all the time.
Yeah, wear all the
Yeah.
swirly glasses.
You can just tell that she was like the nerdy girl at one point with the glasses on, and then she took her glasses off, and then everyone was like, "Oh my god, she's actually hot."
Oh my gosh. Without her, she was hot with her bifocals on too. Come on.
Yeah. And then you also meet Virgo, who's like a marine officer,
Yeah.
but secretly undercover. He's an undercover mole for the Doflamingo pirates.
Oh yes.
Yeah, and then his gag is that even though he looks super serious, there's always like food stuck to his face, and it's not just a little bit of food; it's like half a steak or something.
Yeah.
I think they always do that with that kind of guy. I think there's been other characters that look like him that have had a gag like that.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I think even before that, what's it called? What's his face swaps Smoker and
Yeah.
Shigi.
Yeah.
Lost my
Yeah, and then and then And they also they meet. Law and Luffy meet again, I think, before that. Yeah.
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 So that's what happens. I think the swapped Straw Hats run away with the kids.
Yeah.
And then the rest of the G5 guys run away, but then Luffy gets there right as like he's about to like kill Smoker, and then he's like, "Oh hey."
Okay.
Yeah. And then I think the swapped Straw Hats like end up having Frankie go into monster form, or Frankie forces himself into monster form to try and fight because the Yeti Cool brothers show up and then try to like snipe the kids. And it really is like Monster saying there's just like these big old dudes with big old guns.
What's with all these Monsters Inc. references? Do you have something to talk about, Oda?
Maybe he just saw that movie.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Movie.
But
Also,
yeah, Sanji goes after Monster Chopper, or Frankie in Monster Chopper's body.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot about this part. I forgot the samurai guy.
The
Like,
fucking Yeti Cool brothers suck. They're really bad.
oh yes, yeah, they come out of nowhere. I forgot about the samurai guy. Just like poofs clothes on them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he makes me so mad. I was like, he has just like convenient plot things. Like that's all he was there for.
I was gonna say, what is his devil fruit? I forgot about that. Does he ever
has the
talk about that
garb.
again?
Okay, so he doesn't know it's a devil fruit power. He says he ate a weird apple once, but because of where he comes from, he thinks it's just like a ninjutsu.
Oh.
But he has the garb fruit. It lets people turn an object that they place onto their head into clothes, but if they take it off, the clothes disappear.
Okay.
It's just really convenient clothes, like outfit swap power. It
So
really
weird.
isn't used for anything else, I feel like,
Thank
in
you,
this arc.
Samurai.
I forgot. Yeah, I literally forgot he did that because they never mentioned it again.
I know. There was like.
I mean, it is kind of relevant because later, like, his leg or his arms can't swim, and then Sanji has to go save them.
He can't swim.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it's true. At some point.
But it is a very shitty power.
We didn't talk
His
about
power
this.
is the same thing as going to a shopping mall and swapping clothes.
It is though.
Oh no, you know what it is? It's Animal Crossing, where you take a leaf and you put it on and it turns into
Yeah.
clothes. It just poofs.
Yeah,
I will buy that for 100 bells. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
It is
Just
though.
gonna say, but yeah, you get some shenanigans with the swapped characters, right? I like how they do the dialogue where it's like you can see their actual selves saying it in the dialogue boxes. It's just kind of fun.
Yeah, that was like, oh my god, thank God.
Yeah.
You're gonna go so fast and be like,
I thought
no,
that
I'm
was
not
good.
dumb, but there's certainly so much going on already.
Yeah, Chopper looks really cute in Sanji's body.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's funny. Yeah,
And then
That's one
Nami
of the
looks
best
really cute in
Sanji
Frankie's
performances.
body.
I saw like.
Sanji looks really cute in Nami's body.
No, that's the worst part. He immediately starts like taking off her clothes, and it's like, no.
You know what I found really funny, but like also super nice when Sanji eventually got to Nami's body, and then like Sanji's eyes were just like gorgeous, and I'm like, I did not know I could see those nice eyes there, and I'm like, I don't know.
I like Nami's
cool.
eyes on Frankie sometimes. They give
Oh
him,
yeah,
they
yeah.
give him
She
like
just looks,
cutesy
super
eyes. Yeah.
cutesy and
Yeah.
surprised.
Super cute. They're funny.
I also
Yeah.
really, it's such a fun idea. It's like you kind of forget that one of Nami's quirks is she emotes so intensely when she's angry.
Yeah.
And it's like I
Mhm.
forgot, like when Frankie does that, I'm like, Frankie doesn't really do that. I'm like, that's really a Nami thing. That's a really cute little character, quirk for
Yeah,
like the
Frankie
main
usually, like,
hot girl
scowls.
character.
Yeah.
He scowls or he has like a smirk. He doesn't
Yeah,
really
she, like,
shout.
Nami always does the thing where she has like the sharp teeth and she's like yelling or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like a really fun, like kind of. I'm like a big fan of when they take like the generic hot girl and make her like silly and cartoony like that. Like
Yeah.
some manga like don't dare to do that.
Yeah.
In one of Oda's in between chapter things, he talked about how he makes sure always the characters who are talking are opening their mouths, and that's actually like a big thing with
Oh,
comics. Is like that some comic creators don't open characters' mouths when they talk,
Mm-hmm.
which always bothers me because I'm like, you need to visually be able to see who's talking without having to follow the speech bubbles. And Oda said something like, yeah, it's sometimes hard to make the characters look cool when like they have to have their mouths open, but like I wouldn't have it any other way. Like that is like how it should be. And I'm like, oh hell yeah, Oda.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes even when there's dialogue without any characters on the screen, because they all have their own like dialogue quirks, you can pretty easily go back and read and like tell who's who.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. I think we haven't
Smart
mentioned
character.
this, but when like Chopper, like the G5 people, not Chopper, Smoker. So the G5 people arrive. Smoker says that like the island is like that because it's where Aokiji and Akainu fought, right?
Mhm.
And it was like
Yeah.
near
I
mythical
wasn't-
proportions of.
So I thought
aftermath.
I thought that was like I remember reading that, and then I read another line later that contradicted it, I thought, and I was like, wait, did that
Oh.
actually happen, or were they saying like it's like they fought on this island? I don't know.
Okay, so the
I don't know.
history of Punk Hazard is Vegapunk was on this island. It got blown up by Caesar Clown after Caesar Clown was mad that he was being kicked off the science team. Vegapunk escaped, and then this island became basically abandoned and a no-go zone. And that's why Aokiji and
Okay.
Akainu chose this as their like fighting spot to fight over who gets to be the next leader of the Marines.
Gotcha.
And then now that since one of them was like magma powers and one was ice powers, they've like permanently altered the entire weather of the entire island with their powers.
Yeah.
It has in it's on fire. Like
Yeah,
all
it's just
the
on
time.
fire now.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense to me now.
Mhm.
I think you meet around this time. You meet Brownbeard.
Yeah,
too.
Brownbeard's here.
Oh, yeah.
Who like they meant who's like there like just before the time skip, I feel like.
Yeah, I think you see him like very briefly
Yeah.
before in like a little tiny flashback post time skip. Or like I don't remember.
Yeah, it was referencing the age of like post Whitebeard colonies, and so people started coming
Yeah.
up, and I was like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
now
and then I
people's coming
think
up left and right.
Hawkins.
Like now I'm Brownbeard. You're like, is that a joke? And then no, he
Yeah.
actually comes back.
Yeah, Basil Hawkins, the like fortune telling guy from Sabaudi, like took him down,
Yeah.
Oh.
and then he ended up here.
Yeah.
And apparently Caesar Clown saved him and his crew by attaching animal parts to them. So
Yep.
now he's like a crocodile centaur.
Making them all centaurs.
Yeah, so they
Weird
are monsters
powers.
underneath their like monsters in clothes too.
Yes. And Luffy really likes all of the different kinds of tars, as he puts it.
Yeah.
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 Sounds offensive.
I know it does, but that's literally what he says.
Luffy doesn't know.
And then we see like another dragon, and then apparently the Kinemon, the samurai dude, really hates dragons for some reason and wants to kill it.
Yeah, and then you meet. This is also when you meet Caesar Clown, I think.
Oh yeah, yeah, for the first time.
Yeah, for the first time.
Yeah, and he
Weird.
tries to poison Luffy, and then Luffy just kind of sucks him up and then shoots him out his ears.
Yeah, he just sucks it all up.
It was weird.
And he's
That's
like, I
such
guess
a-
poison doesn't really affect me after everything I've been through with Magellan.
After I literally died.
Yeah, and then Caesar's like Magellan's like a hack. And I was like, oh, he was pretty intense.
I do like how Caesar Clown, his ability isn't poison, it's gas. He just scientifically modified his own like Logia body
Yeah,
Yeah, to be
to be
poison.
able to do stuff.
yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's got kind of a cool design for a villain.
Yeah,
Like,
Well, he's
cooler
an
than some,
asshole, but he's an
but-
asshole you love to see like get punched.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you know Luffy's got the hockey. You know he stands no chance. Like he's about to go down.
that's true. I think this is the first like Logia that like Luffy has actually gotten to use his new hockey abilities on.
yeah,
Yeah.
he has. So we can like grab him, but it doesn't really. I don't know. It's like Luffy's not taking it seriously, or what? Because he like gets like suffocated, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he can't beat Caesar at this point in time.
Mhm.
Yeah. Then I think a little after that, when you meet Caesar, I keep calling them babies, they're like toddlers. The toddlers start going like having like
Oh,
addiction
yes.
withdrawals. Yeah. I was like,
Yeah,
what is
there's
happening at this
child
point?
experimentation in this arc.
It's like,
There's like
it's like,
really fucked up
yeah,
stuff.
it's like
Yeah.
child like drugging children. I was like, damn, like this is pretty
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
been drugging. They find out that the kids were not all giants. They were all normal sized, but Caesar Clown has been experimenting on these kids, trying to turn them into giants because the world government and other people want like giant warriors.
Yes.
And they're all just test subjects, but they're probably going to, like Chopper's like, they're probably going to die because, like, the drugs that he's giving them are going to kill them.
Yeah.
And that's why he and Law team up to try and, like, save the kids.
Yeah.
Oh yes, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then
because-
Luffy gets captured and thrown in the cage with Smoker, and he's like, just like old times, right? Back on Arabasta.
It is. One of my friends finally got to that point, or actually just got to that point in Alabasta, and I was like, "Oh yeah,"
Yeah.
because I was like reading the same thing again.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think. Oh, I was gonna say something. I don't remember.
Meet the Yeti Bros.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
before they get thrown into the thing, they meet the Yeti Bros, but then Law and Luffy finally meet up, and Luffy's like, "Oh my God, it's my friend!" And then
And they make their pact.
yeah, they make a pact together, and the pact is to take down one of the emperors.
Yeah.
I thought it was all the emperors.
Just one of them first, though, right?
Oh, Luffy says, I think Luffy says, okay, Law says, I have a plan to take out, that will take down one of the emperors. And then Luffy gets kind of serious and is like, which emperor? And then,
You don't see it, I think, when he
Yeah, you don't
says
see
yeah,
it.
he
Yeah.
says it. And then Luffy's like, oh, as long as it's not Shanks.
Yeah, not Shanks first. Is what he
Yeah,
said.
not Shanks first. But apparently he still wants to take down Shanks
Okay.
eventually.
I love how he says that. And, like all the other Strats are like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah.
They're like, no,
I love.
don't do that.
I love.
And
I
then,
love
like,
that line. Oh my god.
Usopp's like, what if he betrays you? And then Luffy's just like, Trafalgar Law, are you going to betray me? He's like, no.
He's like, don't go.
That was one of the compilation scenes I've been randomly suggested, and I was just like, "Oh wait, it's the thing. You gonna betray me? No, I'm fine. Not that we're good."
No, we're good.
Yeah, and then Usopp also goes to Law and he's like, I don't think you understand what being in an alliance with Luffy means. You say ally, but he thinks friend.
Yep. Yeah. I think
Yeah, I like that. He's like, but he's just, I was like, "We'll always protect you then," and like, Law's like, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Like we're
And,
like
yeah,
political
Usopp's like,
rivals here.
Usopp like puts his hand on his shoulder, like, "You don't know what you just signed up for, buddy."
Yeah, then he's literally just like, fine, do what you want.
Yeah, because I think Luffy's like, "Okay, we're gonna get that samurai back," and he's like, "What? Like, we didn't agree to this." He's like, "Well, you're my like friend now. We gotta
Yeah,
stick
we gotta
together."
do
And
all
and
this.
Law's like, "I don't think I agreed to that." And Usopp's like, "Sorry, man, you don't get to have a say in this one."
Sorry, man. Yeah, because Law has like this
I'll just-
whole plan to
Yeah.
do this whole thing, and it doesn't matter because Luffy's just gonna do what he wants to do anyway.
You know how Luffy is with plans, right?
Yeah.
Luffy's great at following
He's very good at
plans.
plans. And then he just like says exactly what he's supposed to do in regards to the plan to the enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they tie Chopper to Law's hat.
Yes.
Yeah, and then like Law isn't having it, and he turns Chopper into a little keychain hanging off his
Yeah,
sword
it's like,
instead.
oh no.
I do like how
This
I'm
is
just like,
okay.
I'm going through the chapter right now. I really like how serious Chopper kind of gets in this arc too. It's kind of like no
Yeah.
silly times for him because he's like, these are like children dying. Like it's his like main focus is he just wants to save them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pretty
I
sweet,
think it's really
yeah.
sad. He's like, I wish I could have found you sooner.
And
Oh,
I
At
think
one
yeah.
point.
people are always angry that Chopper doesn't get enough fights, but that's not really his purpose, you know?
I was gonna
His
say he's the
purpose is to be a
medic.
doctor.
He
Yeah.
is the
Yeah.
doctor,
And
yeah.
a lot of his story beats become about him trying to like, take care of people and fix their
Yeah.
like
He's the
medical
white
issues.
mage.
I think it's
Yeah,
okay.
exactly.
He doesn't need to do
Yeah.
damage.
Mhm.
Mhm. He doesn't need to do damage.
He's a druid though. He transforms and changes.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
The druid with some healing.
Oh my god, I never thought about
Yeah.
that.
He's a support druid.
He's like a
Yes.
reverse druid. It's very weird.
That's true.
So what is with
Oh my
the? Oh, I
gosh.
guess I was just gonna looking at the chapter. I was like, what is with the guys being in the girls' bodies, like trying to get naked like immediately? I was like, but I forgot that Smoker doesn't wear a shirt, so like,
Yeah.
I guess that makes sense.
That was
why he
hilarious,
would-
but I'm just
Oh,
like,
I think it makes sense for Smoker. I guess it
Well,
makes,
it makes sense
for
for
Sanji, but
Sanji, but
it's
it's a lot more
worse for
deplorable
It's
Sanji.
much
for
worse
Sanji.
for
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't get a horny angle from like Smoker.
Yeah,
It's more
Smoker
just
isn't
like
trying to be horny. He just like hates having his shirt on, I guess.
Yeah.
yeah, it's more Shiki that's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Smoker Tashigi does look pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And Tashigi Smoker also looks pretty good, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've
I like
both-
their
they've-
swap the
kinder
most,
eyes.
I
they've
think.
they've both gotten pretty like substantial attraction buffs during the time skip.
Yeah,
It's
they
like,
sure did.
it's like they're definitely
Yeah.
they're just cooler in general. Both of them, like these are like I was like really happy to see them in this arc. Like they just like really are their own characters now. It's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And I like how like characters in One Piece are not static. Like we haven't seen them in quite a long time, and they've clearly moved up on the ranks too, and they're doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I like this such a great idea. I mean, like it almost writes itself with a story like this, but these like ideal contested Marines, you know, it's like
Mhm.
every time they meet them, the Straw Hats just prove that they're like, you know, pirates aren't that bad, and they have to be
Yeah.
like, wait, like the Straw Hats are actually doing some good here.
Yeah.
It's just cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Smoker has like an off-screen, like off and on thing with Hina, the Black Cage Marine.
Yeah,
you see in
Hina.
like one of the cover arts. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's,
they're just
that's
like out on
pretty,
the town.
I do
That's
like
true.
this scene when Tashigi like tries to fight Luffy and she uses like the smoke power. She's like, "Oh, it worked!" And Luffy just grabs the smoke.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's
"Holy
so bad.
moly!"
Wait.
Like that's not supposed to happen.
yeah.
Yeah, it was silly. Oh gosh. Back with. I'm trying to figure out what happens next because they fight the cool Yetis. They're trying to do
They
the
find the-
plan. They're trying to.
They have the big slime. They find that
Oh
guy.
god, yes, they go and they try to capture Caesar, but it doesn't work, and so then they all get captured into the cage. Yeah, and
Yep.
most, well, as far as we know, all of them, all the Devil Fruit users have like sea stone chains around. them.
Oh yes, I did like right before they get kidnapped. I liked when Caesar shows up for like a panel or two, and within that panel, like Luffy's already like jumped up to him. He's like, "I gotcha."
Yeah.
He's like, "What?" the-"
And he's like starting to give his like big old like introduction speech.
Yeah, and Luffy just interrupts it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
really
pretty
funny.
good.
And they also, I mean, it's like kind of loosely shown, but they the slime things that he spawns when they start on fire, they explode, I guess.
Oh
Or they're, like,
yeah,
explosive.
he like introduces this new like toxic gas weapon, and he feeds it a devil fruit
Yeah.
because inanimate objects. He knows how to make inanimate objects take on devil fruit powers, just like Vegapunk, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, there's been a few instances of that, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, you know.
With the dog
And
gun.
it's the axolotl fruit.
Yes.
Oh, that's what
Yeah.
it was. I didn't even realize.
Big old axolotl
It was
slime.
so cute, and I was like, "It's so evil, though." No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a Chernobyl axolotl. Chernobyl-lotl.
How dare you do this to me, Oda?
Yeah, I remember he like shoves. I think he like wraps Luffy in one of the slime things and explodes. And like a panel later, Luffy's just behind him, and he's like, "Oh, what the?" He's like eyes are
Yeah.
like jolted backwards.
Yeah.
Luffy just has main character priority. He's not gonna die.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Caesar didn't realize that.
Well, I mean, he died before, but that he got better.
Yeah.
Everybody cheered him.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
Bon Clay was there.
Bon Clay was
Bon Clay
there.
was there.
Yeah.
So he's fine.
He got lucky.
Yeah. The trans people saved him.
Yeah, the trans people saved him. It's so real, though.
Yeah, the lesson of that arc was trans people can literally bring you back from the dead.
Yeah, they bring you back from the dead and out of hell.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh.
I think this is when you meet that Virgo guy right around now.
Yeah. Virgo
Oh yeah,
shows
yeah. He
up.
comes in. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like he reminds me of there's a character one of the Baroque works guys reminds me of him. Like
Oh.
he just kind of
Oh,
has like the
Mr. One?
sunglasses. Was it Mr. One or the one with the boogers?
Oh.
Oh,
Three?
Mr. Five.
Oh,
Mr.
Mr.
Five
Five
had the
has the
burgers.
burgers.
Yeah, he
The
reminds me of
hog
him because he's like got the same kind of demeanor where he's just kind of his
Mm.
like no BS kind of like.
Yeah, except Mr. Five sucked, and this guy actually kind of puts up a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
He
yeah,
doesn't have
the
any
power
powers.
the power scale's gone a long
He
way
just
since
has a
then.
ton of hockey.
He just
Dude,
has
if
a lot of
Luffy met
hockey.
Mr. Five today, that guy would be like blown into a million pieces.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I think. Did you guys see what happens to Baroque Works in the cover stories?
They
I don't
oh
remember.
gosh, they were hiding. Then they tried to go get Crocodile, right?
Yeah, and then Crocodile didn't get freed, and then I think they just kind of opened up a little cafe
Yeah. Yeah, they opened up
Yeah.
a cafe.
all together.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Cute.
I like, a lot of people say that One Piece is a little like weak, where they have villains like always not die and just come back and do their own thing. But I kind of like the theming because it kind of works with the freedom theming that this series really has, where it's like they're bad, but they should have the freedom to be better. Like, I guess they've probably done worse to a point, but they kind of shown that the prison is like not the answer.
Yeah, it's
At least-
the Wreck-It Ralph theorem. Just because you're a bad guy doesn't mean you're a bad guy.
Yeah.
Just because you kidnap children does not mean you're. Caesar Clown's gonna have like his redemption arc in the cover story.
God.
Oh my god.
But I think it's kind of nice. It's like, I get like it makes stakes a little low when you kind of know people aren't gonna die, but it is sometimes nice to see the villains kind of like not be
Reform,
horrible, or
yeah.
at least just like see that they're still able to do what they want. I guess like be alive and be free to do what they want, but like
Mhm.
it also leads a lot of the villains in the cover stories to be like punished for what they're doing. So
Yeah.
it's good. It's a good way, and they have established that like this world, or at least the philosophies within this world, are anti like establishment, anti prison, kind of thing. So it would be kind of like it'd be sort of going back on that to be like, no, villains are forever bad. Like villains will always be bad. Bad guys should go to jail. Like it wouldn't really make
Yeah.
much sense in this story.
Well, to that extent, like this world is also an extreme one, of course, where like people can be marked as evil just because they were born on a certain island or
Yeah,
born
true.
under a certain family, with
Yeah.
like Ace and Robin.
Yeah, there's a lot of good what do you call it, leeway for characters who seem bad to be like have the ability to be good in the future, because it's like, oh, the world's pretty messed up, like people are pretty like poisoned in this world sometimes. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
It is a land where found family is best.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real.
yeah, do any of the Straw Hats just have like a normal like suburban house with like a mom and dad?
Yeah, I think all of the Straw
Mm.
Hats are orphans. I don't think any of them have parents.
Doesn't Usopp have both a mom and a dad?
Well, I think
His,
they're dead.
his mom is dead.
Yeah, his
Oh.
mom is
His
definitely
dad-
dead.
His dad
That's,
ran away with Shanks's pirates.
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember?
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
But he does have like, I guess
He
I guess
might
he's
have a
orphan.
dad. I don't know.
I don't know. Is he really a dad if he's a deadbeat and he ran
That's
off
true,
a
that's
pirate?
I mean,
Yeah, when
Chopper-
we
beat
get
it
in
hard.
that storyline, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, one day we'll meet the red hair pirates again.
Monday.
Yeah, I wonder if there's like any of them just have like I like this idea that one of the characters' backstories is like, no, I just had like a normal family, grew up, went to school,
Yeah, no.
I mean,
It's almost
University.
different. It never accepted me. It's not a phase, mom.
yeah, I don't think Chopper's an orphan, but I don't think he's ever gonna talk to his parents again.
Yeah, his
They're just
reindeer
here,
parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder.
Oh gosh. So what happens?
Well, is it not Luffy's mom is Crocodile, so I guess he has
Oh.
like both his parents are still alive.
That's such
Both
a weird
parents
theory.
has a grandpa and a grandma. I mean, like that's probably the closest to a whole ass family.
True.
That is a
Mhm.
weird theory.
Oh yeah, I forgot when they're captured. It's not fair. It's not fair. Frankie gets to take a nap on Robin's lap, and it's like, what did he do to deserve that?
Oh gosh.
That was funny though. Again, that was one of those like, oh, it's kind of cute. Like I like this like kind of Robin being like caring motherly vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Chopper at least.
For Chopper, yeah.
Yeah. Because Chopper's like the youngest on the crew.
Yeah.
I do feel like Robin is often like, don't let Chopper do his thing. Like, don't do that. Don't
Yeah.
be mean to him.
Yeah, I know. I think
uh,
they portray that better in the anime because
Oh.
they have more like ship time and crew time in the anime
Okay.
filler stuff.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of time we just spend just with the crew hanging out in the manga, which is one of the downsides of the manga.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, and that's one of like the benefits of having filler, even though it's like not canon.
That's
Yeah.
That is
Story
fair.
filler isn't always character filler because you can
Mhm,
have
yeah.
character development during it.
Yeah,
Oh,
that is true.
I
Oh.
will say that
whoa.
Right, bro.
I still hear
Oh,
you,
no.
Realm.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
just not on
here.
YouTube Studio.
Well,
Yeah, that's
no.
weird. What the heck? What the heck?
I can always just here. There you go.
Here, let me.
You're here again.
Oh God. Okay, hold on. I think I'm good. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, we're good.
Something happened.
No,
My
there's
computer
two.
doesn't like me.
There we go. That's okay.
There can only be one.
What was I gonna say?
Right,
Oh,
just
yeah.
just as Nami said, there can only be one like a buggy clownish type character.
There can only be one of you. Yeah, you're right. She did say that.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was gonna say though that I think the anime makes Luffy and like Zoro seem a lot dumber than they do in the manga.
Yeah.
For gag comedy reasons.
Yeah. I did feel like even though Zoro, I don't think he's very smart, I feel like he's kind of wise, and that shows kind of in this arc
Yeah.
a little bit. Even though he just has like a curse that he'll never know where he's going at any point in time.
There's some.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say there were some quirks with Zoro near the end of this arc that I was like, what are they like implying here with like his Tashigi and stuff?
Oh, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like his view on women fighters, and I was like, interesting.
I don't know.
I don't think it's that. I think it's the fact that she looks like his childhood friend who died and he
Yeah.
doesn't want her to die again.
No,
That's
but
all.
he didn't finish off the Harpy girl.
Yeah, that's true.
I was like, he was like weird about it, and I was like, what is this? What are they doing here? I was
Oh, he's like, I would have done
Yeah.
it.
yeah, I was like,
I don't
and then he
know.
does it, at, like kind of, and he's like, see, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm
I
like,
think
what
that's
is?
more of a thing that like Shonen Jump doesn't want to show their like male characters killing women.
Yeah,
You could.
I,
be
I
right
wish
there.
I wish Zora looked at the screen and said like the like the editors won't let this happen. Like,
Yeah.
Oda won't let me kill a girl. No,
Yeah.
Zoro, no.
I also really like the like kind of weird subplot where there's like a lot of the stuff is for the brokers. The illegal brokers is how they say it. I think it's just like really cartoonish. Like
Yeah, it's
the literally they say like the evil illegal brokers.
yeah. There's like
Yeah, those
the
like underworld people.
it's just like the black market all like tuning into the stream of
Yeah, it's-
like
Mhm.
what's
It's very
going
like
on.
cartoonish
Oh, yeah, and then
like
kids there.
energy.
Yeah, and
Just
kid is
watching.
there. Yeah. There's also they like do a cutaway to the parents of the children being like, please, Marine people, please look for our children. And I don't think it's that important, but I just like that the commander's name was Yarisugi because he's like that literally just means does too much, and everything he says is too much. I
I
wish
think
that
he wears like gold armor too or something.
yeah, he's just really silly character. I wish that I had read that part in Japanese because it would have been funnier, but
There was a translator note that mentioned Mega Man 2 in this arc.
oh.
They talk about later when you meet the fan guy, his name apparently is a reference to some old Japanese story.
Oh.
And they were like, fun fact, also the big fan enemies in Mega Man 2 have the same name. I'm
Huh.
like, huh.
Interesting.
I didn't know that. But I think what happens next is doesn't Caesar make that deal with Law? It's like, I'm gonna take your heart.
Yeah. Yeah, we trade each other's hearts because now you know that I won't.
Betray you. Yeah. Law
Betray
just
you.
wants somewhere to chill
Yeah,
for
or
a while.
he gives him
Wants to feel
his
that.
heart, but it's actually yeah. Mhm.
There you go.
Or I think it was Smoker's heart, right? Does he-
Yeah.
He
I feel like-
he also has Smoker's heart.
Yeah,
pretty
okay.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
He gives Caesar Clown Smoker's heart, and then where are they? I'm a little lost here, because I know at some point Law also gets like captured.
Yeah, I think they're all like that thing happens and then they go in and they fight, but there's like they try to enact the plan to capture Caesar, but it doesn't work, and then they all get captured into the
Yeah, then he finds out that
Yeah.
Law is cheating, and then I don't remember what he makes like a deal. I have it like open.
Yeah.
Makes a deal with Law to be like, hey, for my heart, do so and so, but I don't remember what he says. Hold on. Oh, yeah, that's the part also when you see the little slime eat the devil fruit.
Oh
the,
yeah, yeah.
The apple
Oh,
that
I
turns
think what
into a devil
happens
fruit.
also is like Virgo comes in and realizes that Law is like playing double agent here.
Yeah, he does realize that, and so he
Yeah.
like threatens Law.
Yeah.
Because he has.
And then
his
apparently
heart.
Virgo has like had a history with Law and has like beaten him up before.
Yeah. Yeah, and so all of the Straw Hats that are not captured are running away from the Smiley
Mm-hmm.
as fast as they can. As like the
Yeah, with the G5 Marines.
yeah, as a lot of them are
Okay.
just getting like cryo deaded or something. Whatever the heck is happening.
They're getting like Pompeyed.
Yeah, Pompeii. That's a good way to put it. Yeah. Yeah, the reaction because the Smiley eats the candy and then it gets like crazy big.
Mm-hmm.
The gas starts to spread, and then he's like, "Yeah, that happens."
Yeah.
And then
Caesar Clown is trying to demonstrate this brand new weapon and try to sell it to people.
Oh yeah, that was the whole thing.
That on the black market, and he's streaming it, and then through slug tube, he's streaming through black slug tube.
Yeah.
And the kids are also like starting to become more and more violent as they are going through withdrawals from the drugs, which is like terribly dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
Then, Chopper convinces one of them, Coco, that like, no, these candies are actually like super bad for you, and you're gonna die. And if you want to like go back and see your parents, like you have to let us help you.
Yeah.
So she like runs away with all the candies, and then ends up having to like swallow them all.
No.
To keep the other kids from like getting them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. That part was sad. Yeah, I was like, dang.
Yeah. It is sad. And then I think maybe it's before that. I don't know, because like the whole plan was for Law to go into the room, and then like Chopper was hiding in the bag, right? But then he just gets like Law is getting hurt, and then everyone gets captured, but Chopper is not in the bag.
Oh, yeah. And then Law also like gets cuffed, but his cuffs are fake.
Yeah, because he replaced them.
Yeah.
At one point. Yeah, that they don't know sea stones, and he's just waiting it out. So Chopper gets a piece of paper that says "Don't do anything." So he's like, okay, so he doesn't try to like save them.
Maybe it's Luffy fall into the pit and find the sun.
That's a little later. I think this is kind of when Caesar releases the gas in the world.
Yeah, it's when he releases all the gas.
Yeah,
and then they find him in the pit before Mocha takes all the candy.
Yeah.
It's
like happening concurrently, but like as you were reading it, it happened beforehand.
Yeah.
So you learned about him.
Yeah. So before that, I'm trying to think of what happens with Chopper and those kids. He like, oh man, yeah, that.
So they're in like the frozen. I forgot the specific room itself, but they're all in that room, and then like Robin's trying to help them like not get to the candy, and then Monet shows up.
Yeah, Monet shows up.
And then they go through a whole confrontation, and then Zoro ends up fighting Monet.
Yeah.
And getting them out of there, and they run away.
Yeah, that's correct.
Forgot the visual for them getting poisoned is terrifying.
Yeah.
They like turn into that like ghostly little like snowman looking thing.
Yeah.
It's like, what is happening?
Yeah,
there?
they're getting Pompeyed.
Yeah, that sort of like visual was something that would have terrified me as a child.
Yeah, because it's very much. I mean, like I know in the end it's not really, but it's kind of implying that they're dying.
Yeah.
Like, so like even in like they're not like, you know, they kill a lot of grunts, but it's pretty like pretty intense when it's all of like Smoker's like right hand men all die,
Yeah,
and
and
it's like what
it
the
doesn't help
hell?
that they actually have like actual character designs and not just like NPCs. They have
Yeah.
little like rugged little looks
And
to
as they're
them.
running through, there's like gates are closing to like prevent the gas from getting through, and all the G5s are trying to like make sure Tashigi gets through, and she's like, "No, my people." It's really sad for her.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she's trying to be a good captain.
Yeah, but they're trying to be good for her.
Hmm.
Ugh.
And then they get Pompey while giving a thumbs up.
Yeah, Pompey
And
thumbs
they
up.
also like have to team up with like Sanji and all of them.
Yeah.
Wait,
Oh yeah, because
at what point did they get the samurai back together? Because I think
that happened before.
Yeah,
That happened like
Sanji.
They got
Yeah, Sanji Nami dives into the water to go.
Yeah, that's after that
and he
whole
like
thing, yeah.
dodges some like mecha sharks or something.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, wait.
he-
When do you find out that the dragon they ate was actually like a robot or something?
Or it's not a
Um,
robot. It was like a genetic creation,
Oh.
basically.
So when they capture Brownbeard, they say, "Oh yeah, by the way, be careful about the dragon made by Vega." And they said, "Oh well, we kind of already ate that." So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and like Zoro, so I was like, it's like, I thought they said it was a robot.
Oh.
Maybe my translation was weird,
Uh,
but there was like a line where he was like, yeah, it's like maybe like not
think
human, maybe they said or something, and
Translation is supposed to be it's a creation. It's a creation.
oh,
of Dr.
it might have
Stone.
said something closer to like it's like a of like android or something, and then like Zoro's like, oh, it still tasted good. I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah.
Zoro has swords. He eats metal.
Yeah,
What's not to
scared.
understand?
I was like, that was some cartoony shit. I was like, dang, he ate
A
the
good source
fucking
of
robot.
iron.
Yeah.
That
Uh,
makes more sense if it was like a kind of homunculus situation, like you made it in the lab.
Yeah. I do like as they're all captured. Law's like, haha, I'm not really captured. And
And he
gets
like
out of
frees
his
them
thing.
all.
And then he's
Yeah.
like, so does anybody have like a power to like smoke screen us? That'd be too convenient. And then Smoker's like, yes. So
That's literally my name.
yes. And he's like, oh, okay. So they conceal their
Yeah,
the
that they
cage,
escaped.
and then they escape. Everybody escapes.
Yeah, and then they're running away from Smiley, who is like subdividing themselves and like throwing themselves over to this side of the island.
Oh,
the
yes.
axolotl flying.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's also shown, I think, at this point that Kid, Apu, and Hawkins are forming an alliance. Or is there one other?
yeah.
Killer?
Mhm.
Killer is just it. He's like Zoro to Luffy.
Oh,
He's
okay.
Kid Zoro, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Killer's
are
there, too.
forming an alliance. And that's like all we see of that right now.
Yeah.
But
Like 3 really cool characters and Apu.
Apu.
I
I
like
want to
Apu.
like them, but I don't. That
His
much
design
right now.
is just a little too goofy for me, even for me.
We'll see. We'll see as if I get to see more Apu how I feel later on. But I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know right now. So Law sets another plan in motion because for some reason he still thinks plans are going to work with Luffy. And, oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, Frankie, he farts some fire out and sets a boat on fire. Right? And then it creates the smoke screen. Smoker doesn't create the smoke screen. It's Frankie creates the smoke screen.
Oh,
I
right.
forgot about that. Because he can...
Oh yeah, because Smoker can't do the smoke if he's puffed up.
Yeah, so they don't take off the chains until they...
Until
Frankie
after.
makes the fire.
And then I think during this time, Frankie, because he's a robot, he's immune to the powers of the gas, so he goes back to take care of the Mary.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
Or not the Mary, but he goes to
The
collect the
Thousand
Mary
Sunny.
and get the Thousand Sunny. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like,
I
I'm
I must
fine.
have missed that panel because I remember being like, wait, what happened to Frankie?
Yeah.
So-
He's busy.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then Brooke can use his like ghost, like astral projection to look outside the walls as they're like being trapped in the lab
Yeah.
to see what's happening outside. And he's like, "Oh, it's not pretty."
Yeah.
it's
And
not
they
good.
have to like race over to the exit, which is also like under the main control room where Caesar's at.
Yeah. And then Smoker and Tashigi are put back into their normal bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think at this point, like everyone's back in their normal body. The samurai got put back together too,
Yeah.
and now they're just trying to escape.
Yeah, it's
now they're
mainly
trying
like
to
the
escape.
last. It's kind of like the
I'm just
fights.
not very emotionally tied to the samurai in this arc.
No.
I feel
like
like
him,
the
but, yeah.
kids were like a good like heart to this story. The samurai is not. I don't really care about him or his son in this arc.
Yeah.
He feels
It
like
doesn't
set
help
up.
that he's super sexist at the beginning. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, Nami, why are you wearing such lewd
Yeah,
clothing?"
and he calls Robin a courtesan at some point. Like, goddamn,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I don't hate him. I think he's kind of funny, but the it seems like a lot of setup.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
I didn't hate him either. I just feel like he was just there to make the plot easier.
Yeah.
Which
in
is
this
okay,
arc.
I guess, but
Yeah,
it was
I
too
feel
obvious.
like it wouldn't have made that much of a difference if we met him in the next arc, but I don't know. The next arc also has a ton of characters.
Okay.
Yeah.
The what's it called? Yeah, I think the did
General?
Realm, I think, DC.
Oh
Or is that-
no! Okay.
Ruh-roh.
Ruh-roh. Oh no, Realm.
Should we take a
Yeah, we
short
can
5-minute
take
break?
a 5-minute
Yeah,
break.
because the next thing is like the fights,
It's
really.
like the
so
big fights, yeah. All right, we'll be back in a few minutes. Enjoy the
Grab a
cool music, and yeah, grab a snack, get some water.
Mhm.
BRB.
Yes.
See ya. Mention like one time because the other samurai that showed up in Thriller Bark was also from Wano, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Nice catch.
Yeah.
Good catch.
Oh, yes.
You're right.
Yeah, he did mention that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm sure you guys have definitely heard the news because like Wano's the current ongoing anime arc.
Yeah, I've heard
Oh.
So
that.
very clearly they will be there at some point in time
Oh.
in the future.
In the future.
Future. Woo.
Yeah, she's pretty inevitable that they'll go there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they mentioned it enough times where yeah, probably.
Yeah. That and like Elbaf. I'm like
Oh, Elba.
they mentioned Elbaf like way too many times for them to not go there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seems like final boss level though.
True.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, this is when we talked about it. We've already went over the Zoro,
Mhm.
what's her face fight.
Zoro, Monet, Tashigi.
Monet, that's her
yeah.
name. Tashigi fight.
Mhm.
I still really like Tashigi though. I'm actually really happy that she was here.
Yeah.
Showing
Yeah,
her
she's
character
cool.
a bit more.
Sanji gets to be kind of cool and like save her.
Yeah.
And then Zoro goes and like helps her fight Monet.
And then he just like throws her over his shoulder and just runs.
Yeah, and she's like mad about it.
It's like, please don't. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Zoro takes out Monet pretty easily. He like cuts her, but he's like, if I had used Kaki, you would have been dead.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And he says something like, how can you be sure that a cornered animal will never bite you?
Yeah. And everyone is still running away from the gas. Like Brownbeard is also running away because Brownbeard's on their
Yeah.
side now.
Well,
Uh,
I think Roundbeard realizes that like he realized that actually Caesar was not their savior, and he's actually been just like torturing them and using them as guinea pigs ever since the Yeti Cool brothers were also assigned to take him out too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he's trying to convince the rest of his men that no, actually Caesar's bad.
Yeah. And he's like helping everyone not get gassed. Get
Yeah, and he
paid.
basically becomes a bus. He's just like he's the bus transport for everyone else. Everyone's just
Yeah.
riding on his giant back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they make a joke how it's like they start getting comfortable or something on it. They're like,
Yeah.
Yeah. They're like, why are there any snacks on here?
I don't know if it was mentioned yet, but we do find out Monet's devil fruit, right? Or is it
Oh,
devil
yeah,
fruit? I don't even know if it's
Yeah. She has wings, but that's not her devil fruit.
Yeah.
She just also has
She has
wings.
Snow.
Is she Snow Logia?
Yeah, she's like
Snow
the
Logia.
Yuki.
Just
Yuki.
Nogia,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Yeah, she's a Yukino Onna.
And I think one of the like Oda wrote that like yes, there's different like Logia powers that have similar elements, but some are stronger than others. Like magma is stronger than fire,
Yeah,
and like Aokichi's ice would be stronger than the snow.
yeah.
Gotcha.
I see, I see.
But yeah, no, she's just also a harpy lady. I don't know if she had like centaur surgery or if she was just born. She's just part of like a harpy race of people because she has bird feet too.
I don't.
Is there something that has to do with snow and harpies? Like anything? Like I've never heard of that. Like
No, me neither.
combination.
I don't think so.
Usually it's like harpies in like a desert, so I was actually surprised she had like snow
Yeah.
powers. At least that's my impression of harpies. Yeah, but Monet is like actually like part of Joker's squad of people doing evil
Mhm.
doing.
Yeah, and you also find out Joker is like Doflamingo's
Yeah.
code, like black
Yeah.
market code name.
Actually, Doflamingo. I've seen like a weird amount of fan art of him as actually a flamingo, but
He's got a cool ass design. He's probably got one of the strongest character designs in this series.
it
in
is
my
pretty
opinion.
strong, yeah.
Yeah. It's so intense. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's like turn it up to like 11. I think that was also really necessary in this arc because otherwise, like this arc, we really just didn't have a lot of connection to a lot of like characters we know.
Yeah.
Because like the main villain is just like this. He was like a mystery at the beginning in his like gas form, and then it's revealed, and it's like surprise! It's this guy you've never seen before. It's like,
Yeah, this
oh,
is really.
okay.
This feels a lot like a lot of setup for the new world
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
Set up
Yeah,
for
it's
the
kind
new
of like
world.
feeling like the Okay, I won't say it's as bad as Whiskey Peak, but it feels a lot like Whiskey Peak.
A little bit.
It's a lot of setup, yeah.
I think I think it's still good to bring Doflamingo, that they did bring Doflamingo in there because it's like, oh, there are real stakes here. going on.
Yeah.
And the
Mhm.
whole reason Law wants to capture Caesar is to get Doflamingo to do something.
Yeah,
So-
because Caesar has been producing this chemical here
Yeah,
it's
sad.
called SAD. Yeah, that Doflamingo needs.
It makes you sad.
Mhm.
I do really like. Obviously, Doflamingo's going to be the villain for the next arc. It's pretty obvious.
Mhm.
But the I like how they're kind of letting you figure out what he's like before, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's like I like how Doflamingo is pretty like he's like one of the I feel like he's like a pretty rare villain in One Piece that really gives a shit, at least on the surface, about the people he works with. Like,
Mm.
you know, he's like genuinely pretty upset when like his squad is being taken, not because like it's like, oh, I need them for money. It's like, no, like these are my people, like I need to go save them, or you know, I need to go like fix this. I don't know, it's cool. It was like I Doflamingo seems like he's got a little bit more going on than some of the other villains, especially like Caesar, I guess, compared to Caesar Clown.
Yeah. I think Doflamingo is more like on the level of like Crocodile. I mean, he's also a warlord.
Yeah, he's a warlord.
Whereas
Mhm.
Caesar's more like on the level of like, I don't know, Buggy.
Like Buggy. Yeah.
Or
He's
what's
a
his
clown
face?
after all.
Who was
Caesar
the guy?
Clown.
Who was the guy in the last arc? He was pretty weak too.
Oh.
Oh, Hody.
Hody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hody.
I liked
Jones.
Hody though. I liked how I mean Hody clearly will not come back after he like got oldified. But I
Yeah.
liked how Hody represented like basically like neoconservatism.
Yeah,
And
he
he's
did.
like
Yeah.
that kind of villain where he just like hates people for no reason. Like he had no stakes in like the whole race's like actual history.
Yeah.
He just hated
Yeah.
people for the sake of hating people. Like I thought that was actually good.
Yeah. Although I mean, I think Caesar Clown making weapons of mass destruction is also just bad, and also like
Yeah.
using children to experiment.
Yeah.
He's just like
Yeah, he's
objectively
kinda-
Pretty
evil.
bad, okay?
Yeah, he's just bad and he's not even doing it for like any emotional reason. He's just I want money.
Yeah, he wants money and he wants to feel like he said something where he's like he wants to feel like his work is worth something. You know, like he has some prowess as like a scientist, but
Yeah, I guess the most like understandable emotion or relatable emotion for him is he's always been like overshadowed by Vegapunk, who's like the lead scientist for the Marines.
yeah, he's the Dr. Wily. He's
Yeah,
constantly
yeah.
getting
But he's still
overshadowed.
like cartoonishly evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Sorry, I was
Even his
choking
like
on
big
water.
coat makes him look bigger than he really is. He's like the super lanky dude.
Yeah, he is.
Mhm.
Um. Uh. uh,
So yeah, Luffy gets thrown down the hole, finds the
Oh yeah, he
dragon,
finds the dragon. That's like
and
I
he wants
haven't
to eat the
eaten.
dragon.
Yeah, but
No.
don't eat him.
Yeah, he's just
And the
crazy,
dragon
man.
like helps like fly him out of the hole.
Does he help? I thought that Luffy was just like, I'm just gonna leave, and starts like climbing up with the dragon around his like neck.
Something. I think so. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't think the dragon can help because the dragon child has not like eaten anything in like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, that's true. Or he's eaten something. He ate the devil fruit that turned him into a
Yeah, he ate the
dragon.
devil fruit that turned him into a dragon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they say it here? I think they said that this devil fruit wasn't one made by Vegapunk, but it was deemed a failure.
Oh. I guess
So it's
it
just
was.
like left behind.
It was just left behind. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it was like in a tank or whatever,
Yeah.
and he ate it.
And like Momonosuke didn't eat the candy with the rest of the kids.
Yeah, so he's not having horrible, violent withdrawals. Except he's hungry still. But yeah, I think I don't really know. I mean, I guess I understand why the kid is there. I don't know why the kid is a dragon. Other than to show a cool shot of Luffy pulling himself out of the garbage and with the dragon around his neck.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was cool, I guess.
Law separates from the rest of the group to go to the
Yes.
Sad Factory to try and destroy it, and Virgo stops him there.
Yes.
And then Sanji's there too, trying to fight off Virgo.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
And
Sanji.
Sanji like gets his like leg broken.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was just like, oh, whoa,
It's like,
did
oh,
not
I guess
expect it.
I guess it's like good power scaling, showing how strong Virgo is.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he tries to kick him and he breaks his leg, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he hits his leg, yeah.
And you don't really see the fight between Virgo and Law.
Yeah, you don't
see
see
Law.
it.
Law like start to slash at him, and Virgo like puts on his like super strong hockey.
Yeah, then like
And
the
he's like, "You
next
can't
page
hit me."
it's like it's like him cut in half and I was like,
Yeah,
whoa.
he's just like brutalized
Oh.
and cut in half. I mean, because of Law's powers, he's still alive, but like he's just like all chopped up and like his parts are just like strewn on the fence.
Yeah, you're right.
You know?
Yeah, and I think there's that as like Luffy's like climbing out of the trash can, basically. Brownbeard goes to like the what do you call it, like a broadcast room to like tell everybody to stop believing in Master because he's not your master, he's evil. But Caesar tries to like make it seem like he's a good guy still.
You know?
It doesn't go very well though.
Yeah, until like finally, while Caesar is doing something else, they overhear him like saying that all of these like people are just like lab rats to him. and
Yeah.
nothing.
You're all lab rats to me. And Luffy's really mad about that. I guess because he's like, you lied to them. Like, how could you lie to these people?
Yeah.
I think one good theme that this arc does have, like, is this idea of like friendship versus like using people, you know?
Yes.
Because what ultimately takes down Caesar is like this alliance between like the Straw Hats and Law and the Marines and this random samurai dude who showed up.
Yeah.
And the Brownbeard. And like that's what like, you know, them working together. They all had to work together to take down Caesar.
Yeah, they all have to do that.
Mhm.
And oh yeah, Monet has like the scary Yuki Onna farm too, but it doesn't really.
Oh
matter.
yeah.
But
Already too late.
it's too late.
Yeah.
But yeah, while he's like secretly being like, all of you are just peasants. Luffy comes in and then he like hits Caesar with a Gomu Gomu no elephant gun, right?
Yeah, it's like Gear 3. He's like new Gear 3.
Yeah, New Gear
In
3.
hockey.
He
Yeah.
punches him and he stands in front of Brownbeard to like
Yeah, protect them.
protect him. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Caesar, who's not happy with any of this, blows up Smiley, the slime, and then also like starts absorbing the gas into himself and becomes all big.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like turned into like a cartoony final boss.
I know.
Yeah, his final form.
Quick BRB for me.
Okay.
And then Luffy like starts running off, and then they're like, "See, he abandoned us." But no, he's just getting a running start for his like next big attack.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Mm-hmm.
And then
he,
Usopp
like,
kind of
punches him out.
psychs up the rest of the Caesar's men, right? He's like,
Mhm.
he doesn't care about you, like, you know.
Yeah, he doesn't care about you.
Mhm.
Um.
And then Law's really mad. It's because Luffy punches Caesar so far that like
He's
I was
gone.
like, "We were supposed to capture him. What are you doing?"
It's like,
Yeah, he's like, I got mad, sorry.
Got
Yeah, I got
mad at
mad.
him.
I don't like that guy. I don't even want to capture you anymore.
we shouldn't. Yeah, we shouldn't capture him anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, then like off screen, what's his face? The samurai guy gets turned into like stone or whatever.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
yeah.
he realizes his son is a dragon. He's like, wait, I beat up a dragon back there.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
thinks it's
Goes
him.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like I thought he was dead. Like again, I was under the impression at that point they were all dead if they got turned to like the stone
Yeah,
like that.
me too.
I didn't know if it was
Yeah.
stone. I thought it was like them literally just like dying, like
Yeah.
just them like turning into that. Like,
Yeah. I
But
thought
no, they kind of just like
it's like a
they
shell.
sculpt people out of it.
It
Yeah.
honestly seems like the opposite of poison. It's like they said like something where it's like after a few days,
Yeah,
it'll
they
like
would-
the poison will seep in. It's like that feels like it's almost like a safety measure. Like the poison puts you in a
this is
shell.
why Vegapunk's the head scientist and Caesar Clown is not. Okay.
right. um. Usopp also has defeated a bunch of the Caesar's men too.
Oh
at this
yeah.
point.
I like how Usopp, even though he's always like the coward and stuff, at this like remember back on not Fishman Island on in Arlong Park where he struggled to take down like one goon, like
Yeah.
one henchman. Now he's just
Yeah.
like he's not even afraid of like these guys at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
he's
army of,
didn't he
like-
worked with Robin, right, in that scene?
Yeah.
Something with Robin.
To take
Or no,
down-
Nami.
Oh,
I think
you're
they
right,
because
it's
they used the
Nami.
cloud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Nami to oh yeah, no, it was so funny. I took a screenshot of it because they're like, I love fighting. I can fight all these people because they're totally lame and not weak. I am not scared at all.
Yeah.
Both of them are.
Yeah.
It was silly. Then outside, it's shown that there's like 2 agents of Doflamingo or whatever they are coming
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Man, one of the weirdest design characters I think Otis come up with is the helicopter.
The helicopter
guy.
dude. Yeah.
Fucking weird.
With the
Like,
spin fruit.
The spin
Yeah.
fruit, yeah.
Yeah. He just like is a helicopter. The lady's hot though, baby 5, and she
Yeah.
has like the weapons fruit and she can turn into any weapon.
Yeah.
Just like that's pretty strong.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh, I guess she can just have like Gatling guns behind her. But then she literally turns into a sword. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. very wacky.
Yeah.
And then like Frankie just kind of sees them and he's like, they can't be up to anything good. And then they see him
Yeah,
and he's
he
like,
starts
what is that
shooting
guy
at
on the ship?
Yeah, he
Why is he
starts-
shooting at us? What the fuck?
Yeah, it started blasting.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny where like he just like aims his cannon, just starts like annihilating them, and I'm like, damn, what the hell?
It's like, damn, he's just like, yeah, those are definitely bad guys. I just like
Yeah.
starts shooting. When his giant robot form.
So anyway, I just started firing.
That's what Ralph said. It was silly.
I'm sorry, I stole your joke, Realm. You said it first.
Yeah.
Yeah, then it kind of keeps switching between that fight and then like the place going down, and then Caesar has Smoker's heart that he's like, I can still take down Smoker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Well,
he stabs it.
Before that, though, they're trying to leave in the cart. Everybody's trying to get into the cart, but then
Yeah.
they decide to take down the entire building. So the tunnel will collapse, and all the children and everyone will die instead.
Yeah. And
and
then, like, Joker gives the order for Monet and Virgo, and he's like, thank you for your service, but die for me now. You're gonna basically self-destruct and kamikaze this whole lab with you so no one can trace this back to me and stuff.
Yeah. And then yeah, and then like right after that, Caesar stabs Smoker. But it's
Mhm.
not Smoker's heart.
Yeah, it feels switcheroo.
That was pretty cool. I was
And
not
we
expecting
actually
that.
have like an on-screen like actual death in this
I
arc.
know, yeah, that was crazy
Wow.
too, yeah.
Yeah.
I was talking to my friend about it. My friend was always saying how like he like loves the concept of like a harpy character, and he was like, I was so pissed at Oda when I read this because like
Yeah, because
I
she
really liked her, and then
died.
she's like the only time a character actually dies in this series.
Yeah.
Yeah, it stays dead.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm glad. I'm
Virgo
glad they
is
have like
fine.
a
Virgo
dramatic
can die,
death
it's
though.
fine.
It's cool. Like it's a cool way to do it.
Yeah.
She had to
And I
die to make
think
that part work.
that also fits with the theme of like, you know, what I said before with like friendship and alliances and stuff. Because the fact that Caesar Clown never trusted anyone is kind of the reason why everything like went so wrong for him.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If he had like trusted and like actually like been good to the people on his side, he might have stood a chance on at actually escaping.
It's true. It's true. Oh, they're called the Don Quixote Pirates. I know now. Okay. That's what Baby Five is, and Spin Man. I don't know his name.
Oh yeah, what's his name?
Buffalo?
Buffalo, yeah.
Buffalo, okay.
Buffalo kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Baby Five seems good, but she also kind of sucks.
Yeah. Oh, Nami electrocutes them.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Nami and Usopp show up and they
That's what they
come
do,
here
yeah.
to try and collect Caesar
Yeah.
so that bring him back.
Yeah.
And they do get him, but then Usopp and Nami are like enemies who are running away. Perfect.
Yeah. Oh,
We're
that's
great
what
at
it is.
fighting those guys.
That's what Nami says. She says,
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of an enemy at a long distance with no will to fight,
Yeah.
especially when they're wounded and have their
I
backs
re-
turned to us.
I do really like that scene when
That's what
they
it
show
was.
up and like Luffy's like, what? Like, who are those people? Like, are they friends of yours, Law? And he's like, no, they're enemies. And it's like this shot of all of them, like you know, just squad, what do you call it? Like, squad posed, like, looking at them.
Yeah. Yeah.
For a second, I thought you were gonna say sorority squad. I'm like, could you imagine? Could you imagine team sorority squad?
Oh,
Yeah.
gosh.
So Nami electrocutes them.
Yeah.
And then Usopp shoots a missile at them, and then like I think Caesar dodges all the rocks. But then Usopp's like, haha, that was a distraction. I threw sea stone cuffs too, and they got you.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty
they
good.
recapture
Usopp having
Caesar.
sea stone cuffs. That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is smart.
Yeah, sea stone ammo on him would be pretty OP.
Yeah. So after that, I guess things are okay because the Law sends the heads of Baby Five and Buffalo away.
Yeah, and you get to see Law's little slug, his little dead
Yes, his
machine.
little dead
Oh,
machine.
yeah.
At the
Looks like
boat.
him.
Uh,
I did like how when Doflamingo is like going towards them, he's like running across the air, and
Oh, yeah.
he's like in this
Oh,
crazy
yeah.
pose. It's so cool. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, he's so cool.
like he's so mad. Oh no.
Yeah, but
I
he's
don't think
smiling,
they've
and it's
actually
like
said what
terrifying.
his powers are. We've seen him like fight before
No,
back
yeah.
in Marineford.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I think the
Nothing
only thing he's done is he's like motioned his arm and cut something completely in half. So
Yeah.
I do not know what
Or
his
he's
power is,
like
but it's pretty
done
cool.
like possession too of other people's bodies, like when he got some of the people in Marineford to like fight each other.
Oh yeah.
Oh
he did
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. They were like, we can't move our bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah,
like
'cause
puppet master.
I mostly remembered Doflamingo being like, yeah, this fight's lame during Marineford.
Yeah.
Oh, this is interesting now.
Mhm.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all happening. But he sends he calls and then gives his Law's terms of agreements to Doflamingo,
Mhm.
which is like you need to step down as a warlord, or you can't have Caesar clown back, so you can't have your sad anymore. So you can't give it to that scary guy, Kaido.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all part of this plan to like basically put him in a catch-22, where it's either you like get hunted by the Marines and get taken down by them, or you get hunted down by Kaido and taken down by him.
Yeah. Yeah. And he like has until tomorrow's paper to decide. In the meantime, Law is busy because like they like show like Chopper being very worried about all the children, and Law was doing something in like a room, and he comes out and he's like, I was rearranging all of their organs or something
He was
horrible.
like, I was chopping
that.
he was like, I was chopping the children up, and I was like,
chopping
damn.
up the children.
Yeah, that was kind of
Surgeon of
sweet.
death.
Yeah.
But he does save Mocha.
Yeah, he saves Mocha. Like, I don't know how, but he gets all the poison out of their body. Because he has
Yeah.
the POP fruit, I guess.
I don't know if it was mentioned, but also the kid turns not into a dragon anymore, and he reunites with his dad or whatever.
Yeah. And
Papa.
I don't like his hairstyle. He has like the bald, like top knot hairstyle, which I know is like a thing in traditional Japan.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny
But it
for a
doesn't look
kid
that
to have
good.
him, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It could be better. You're right.
But yeah, do they explain what they're doing? I don't remember. I do think it is a little emotional when his dad, when Kinemon goes to Momo while they're going through the party, he's like, it's okay, son, you can eat now. I know we said like a samurai is supposed to be honorable and not eat, but these are our saviors. We
Yeah.
can trust them.
Yeah, he's like, let us live.
Yeah.
Also like when what's I gonna say? Law's like it's like we gotta like, don't linger too long, like make sure like we gotta get out of here fast. And he's like, all right. And then it like cuts to them like having a party, and Law's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what the
He's like,
Oh yeah.
I literally just told you guys.
And then all the Marines from G5 are partying with
Yeah,
the
they're all
pirates, and they're all having a great time. And then the
Yep.
next day, they draw a big old line in the sand, and they're like, "This is Marine territory. You can't cross this line."
It's like, we were just friends 2 minutes ago.
Yeah. And then Nami has Tashigi take all the kids and take them back home. And she says something emotional with like, yeah, I know how that what like kids need most is like a good Marine lady to take care of them.
yeah, because it was like her mom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and also she makes the fair point that the parents of the children will be much happier to see that the Marines are delivering the children.
Yeah.
Or they'll feel safer about it or whatever. Yeah.
It was also nice, dude. All the pirates keep saying how like he was like, oh yeah, like these pirates are awful because they like know they have to, but they don't really mean it. And they all start crying, and they're
then they
like,
start crying, and they're like, we can't look at them because if we do, then we'll realize that we like them.
yeah,
Yeah, because the kids want to say thank you, and they're like, you can't say thank you to the pirates. And then they all start crying.
And it's also good on our end to be like, hey, not all Marines are bad either. Like these Marines.
Even though those same Marines were literally like burning and like torturing a pirate when you first meet them.
I know.
Yeah.
They have it like tied up like a pinata. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Ugh.
But it does feel like push come to shove, Tashigi and Smoker will do the right thing. Rather than the Marine thing.
No, yeah, I think they're a good dynamic because Tashigi is like genuinely good natured. So like, she does kind of definitely after this arc, she's like, oh yeah, the Straw Hats are like actually our allies, like kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like she fights them because she has to, but she's definitely. It'd be weird for her to like reset and then like if you see her in another arc, she's immediately like bad guys and starts like. Fighting the Straw Hats again. Like, I thought we had that whole thing going on, and like Punk Hazard.
Yeah.
But then, doesn't Doflamingo show up while they're like after the Straw Hats leave?
Yes. Doflamingo shows up.
Yeah.
And
He
he
starts
gets
fighting
Smoker.
Yeah, fighting Smoker. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because he's like, tell me where the Straw Hats are, and Smoker's like, I don't.
Yeah. And then, like, man, Smoker. Remember in the start of the series when Smoker was like an actual threat?
I know.
And now he's been taking nothing but L's.
I know, poor Smoker.
He lost to Crocodile. He lost to Caesar Clown. He lost to Law, and now he's lost to Doflamingo.
No, couldn't he just turn to smoke and not take the hits? I don't know, but
Yeah.
I
Probably not.
assume
Oh,
that
no, his-
Doflamingo's like made of hockey.
yeah, Doflamingo
Yeah.
has like King Hockey or whatever, so no, he can't. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess unfortunately Smoker's just not that strong. Oh.
And Doflamingo's so intimidating. I'm like thinking this panel
Yeah.
where he's like on top of like Smoker.
It's scary when he's like always smiling, but it's also scary when he frowns at the few things.
Yeah.
He's like, ugh, I'm not happy.
And then Aokiji shows up, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Aokiji kind of comes in out of nowhere, and he's missing a leg.
Yeah.
Wait, is he? I didn't even notice
Yeah, he has a leg made of ice.
Yeah.
that. Oh,
That's pretty
wait.
cool. It's you could like just not notice it because you might just think he's using his power.
Right. It's like a blink and you'll miss it. But yeah, he's like a little bit scarred up.
Yeah. And he like
Huh.
saves Smoker from literally dying to
Yeah.
Doflamingo. Yeah. And so back on the straw, the Thousand Sunny, everyone is really worried because they think Doflamingo is gonna follow after them. So they're like, a lot of them are not sleeping that night.
Yeah, 'cause now they've pissed off some like really tough customers out there.
Yeah.
Some of the guys aren't sleeping because they're jealous of the stupid kid.
Oh my god, yes, they're jealous of the kid.
I
Dumb.
also don't like how the kid is making like sleazy faces.
Like, you are 7. Stop.
I don't even
Yeah.
know. Yeah, I almost interpreted that like he just knows that he's fucking with the older guys almost.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
he doesn't even know why. He's just like,
Yeah,
"Ah."
he's-
I
yeah,
just
yeah.
feel like it wasn't necessary at all.
Yeah.
No,
Like-
definitely not.
It's not an endearing character trait. Being
They've also
pervy.
known this kid for like 0.3 seconds, and Robin's like, "Get in the bath with me." I'm like,
Oh.
"Robin, what the fuck's wrong with you?"
Yeah, I guess she's trying to be motherly because he's like 7 or 8 or whatever. But
His
also,
dad's
like,
right there.
It
I
also-
wish that they would have given him some actual like good character traits because he's been cowardly, annoying, and now bratty.
You're so
Uh.
right. I think it's also just because I know in Japan it's like an adult. Like, I guess it's weird for Robin to do it. His dad probably should have bathed.
I was gonna
his
say
child,
his dad was
but
right there.
His dad was right there.
Yeah.
It's like fine. It's fine when they're little kids, I guess, but that's how it's perceived anyway. But
Yeah, I mean they're also pirates. Like
that's true.
they also just don't bathe a lot. I think
You're
it
right.
said like Luffy and Zoro bathe like once a week or something.
Yeah, everybody else
Good
bathes
for
like
them.
regularly.
Sanji, I think, bathes the most. He bathes like once
And they
a
said
day.
something in the beginning of the arc that like Nami hadn't had a shower since like before the Fishman Island arc, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
"Damn, how
yeah.
long had that been?"
And she was like, I finally get to enjoy a bath on like this nice ship because like
She's
we've
smelly.
barely been on it.
Dang, she was smelly. You know, they were busy. She didn't have time to take a shower.
Yeah, that's true. It's like, did they ever take a shit? Like I never seen them using the bathroom.
It's not important, that's why.
He's like, "I'll be right back." Hold on.
I'll be right back. Hold on, yeah. But yeah,
Did they? I don't remember. Did they say where they're going next?
Dressrosa.
yeah, Dressrosa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah, and that's kind of where they kind of ends with them like getting there like immediately. Like,
Yeah, the morning comes and they get the paper and it shows that.
Yeah, I think
Doflamingo
it's
has
because also
abdicated.
Law has the Dressrosa like eternal pose, which is why they're able to like navigate there really
Oh,
easily.
he does. Oh, okay.
I think that's probably it
Oh.
because he had always planned to go to Dressrosa.
Oh, okay.
You know, because he
That's
knows
fair
that
enough.
where the flamingo is based.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
So yeah, yeah. That's how it ends, though. Doflamingo's
Mhm.
abdicated his position.
Yeah.
As warlord of the sea.
But
They're headed to
Whatever.
Dressrosa, but
And they're
Dof-
scheming a way to take him down.
Doflamingo is the king of Dressrosa, right?
Mhm.
So that might be not the best place to
seems
go.
like a self-imposed title, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the people on Dressrosa are shown to be like, what the heck is going on?
Mhm.
And
I have no idea what Dressrosa's theme is even.
Well, I think I don't really know. I only assume from Don Quixote Pirates that it'll be a tiny bit Don Quixote.
I guess so.
I don't really
Yeah.
know though, because the thing is, like, there's times when I think that Oda's actually pulling from like a classic, and then he's like, no, not really. It's just like a little bit.
I want to
that's
say something, but it's kind of spoiler. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's just
okay.
like kind of the setting.
that's okay.
Should I say it or no?
I don't.
No.
I don't even know. No, yeah. You
Yeah,
can,
I think it'll be
we'll
more
read
fun
it,
if you
but-
guys just get to experience it yourself.
Yeah.
And get
Okay.
I
Um.
don't think.
Yeah, I'm curious. I think it's pretty weird to know that the next arc is 100 and something chapters. That's like.
Oh
that's
yeah,
that's
it's a big
lot.
arc. It's a big ass arc, and a lot happens. I think this is the arc that you meet like the most characters in one arc ever.
Oh wow.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, with the
Man.
most named characters
Can
ever.
we split this into 2 sessions
Wait,
into
yeah,
the
for
whole
sure,
arc?
for
Actually,
sure.
hold on. I have a question.
Mhm.
So I know that Caesar Clown updated his own, like he like genetically modified his like devil fruit power. But what the heck? Like, how different is Caesar Clown to Smoker? Like, isn't their power super similar?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one's smoke and the other is gas.
But it's like
Is smoke not a gas?
Smoke is a gas,
so,
Yeah.
so
but like
Yeah, there's
Like,
a lot of
Caesar
characters.
Clown
Oda's
just
running
seems
out of ideas.
I think Caesar Clown's is just better because it's just gas in general.
Yeah.
And he can like turn into like flammable gases. He makes like a gas flame sword at
yeah,
one
I
point.
guess he's like the
and
more
his like castanets where he like crafts little castanets and makes gas explode.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess smoker is like genuinely just like the stuff that comes out of a cigarette, just like kind of thing. Like that's kind of what it's
Okay,
implying.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like
I guess so. Is that's why he smokes 2 cigars at a time?
yeah.
Yeah, it's
that
funny.
that makes sense. Like how Monet has like the powered down version of Aokiji's power.
Yeah.
Smoker's
I
the
will
same.
say
Okay.
it's a little I don't say worrying, but it's a little like, oh, they're already doing like Oda's already had to explain that like powers are gonna be similar, guys. All right, like stop asking questions because I'm like,
Oh
god.
no, don't worry. The next arc has a ton of very interesting powers.
Okay, cool.
Interesting.
Interesting powers
I also
for sure.
did not.
I mean, clearly we have like the spin route.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true. Spin fruit. I
And
didn't-
stupid garb fruit.
Yeah, that one felt more like in the
Uh.
moment, like they figured that shit out in the moment.
Yeah.
I
Gosh.
just feel like the samurai and his son have not really given a lot of positive character traits for me as to like him. Like
Yeah.
all he's done is like gags where he's sexist and then he farts and
Yeah.
he can cut through
Yeah,
fires.
he's
That
like-
was kind of
he's
cool.
wacky One Piece character, but yeah, it's like
Yeah,
it's fine. I think more of like what they like. I think just them being there, being a link to a probably later place to go is kind of cool. But
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
yeah, I don't really care. I don't know if they're gonna be important to the next arc. I assume they'll probably be like, we're going, bye guys.
Maybe.
Like we'll see you in
Yeah,
Wano.
Wano's like 4 arcs away or so.
Oh gosh,
yeah.
they stick around for like 300 chapters or so. I don't know.
Yep.
No.
They stick around longer than Vivi.
No.
Wait, what? Wait, how long? That's a weird question. How long is Vivi in this manga for? Like now that we've like experienced longer arcs, it's gonna be weird to be like Vivi was only around for like 70 chapters and be like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah. How long was Dressrosa? Like 50 chapters?
Let's
So?
see.
Like Dressrosa is longer than all of East Blue.
Dressrosa's over 100.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
longer than East Blue. East Blue is perfectly 100 chapters.
Yeah, it's crazy. I looked at. I was just curious about thing length. I wasn't even looking at chapter length. I was looking at volume length of these.
Uh-huh.
Wano is 16 volumes.
Wow.
It's like there are so many mangas that I
Are
have
just
that are
16.
not
Yeah.
16 volumes long. Like,
Yeah.
I will say I really like Dressrosa, actually. I think Dressrosa is done very
Ooh.
well.
That's
even though it's
exciting.
long.
That is exciting.
Mhm.
okay, so 9 plus
Mhm.
15. So I'm just counting how many VV chapters there are.
Don't watch the anime for Dressrosa. They really ruin it with the pacing of the anime.
Oh.
It's so slow.
Well, that's okay.
Yeah, Vivi's about 110 chapters she's around.
Okay.
So a little longer than Dressrosa.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
everyone's
just
told me that.
Rosa, and then Whole Cake Island, and then Zoe, and then Wano,
Yeah.
and just
I
the
thought
samurai's
Zoe
gonna be
came.
around for all of that.
I thought Zoe came before Whole
Oh,
Cake.
sorry, you're right. Yeah, Zoe and then
Yeah.
Whole Cake. My bad, my bad.
How did
I am
we
totally
feel
wrong on that,
about the
right?
special cover story towards the end of Punk Hazard?
Oh God, with the mermaid guy.
Yeah, with Caribou.
Yeah, and
I was like,
I was ignoring
why?
him.
I don't care.
Yeah, he's a guy that like when I was like, oh, freedom, I'm like, maybe he should be stuck at the bottom of
Yeah.
the ocean. Maybe there's some.
I hate him more than Caesar Clown, even though Caesar Clown has probably done worse things.
I was only happy
Yeah.
because Jinbei showed up for like a second.
Caesar
Yeah,
Clown's
and
at
like
least
just kind
like
of arrest him.
Yeah.
is he a Logia type?
He is
Yeah.
a Logia. He's got the
What a
swamp
waste.
fruit. He just sucks. He just really sucks. Oh my god.
What a waste.
What a waste. Oh. Yeah, I know. So.
Also, wait, was there a chapter? I don't remember. There was something right near the end that something where I don't know if I accidentally read an extra chapter or something, where Doflamingo has a devil fruit in his hand.
He does, yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
But-
Well,
I don't know if
I don't
everyone
know
has read
what
it.
it
Does everyone
is. I don't think it's explained what it is,
No.
but I have an idea of what it looks like. I'm like, wait, what?
All right, what's your theory? I want to hear it.
Well, it looked like it had a bunch of little flames all over it.
Did it?
Yeah, it was like the sheathing around the skin of the fruit was like all little like flame symbols, and it was like orange and yellow like fire.
Oh, I don't quite remember what it looked like.
Oh yeah, speaking of devil fruits, we do see something happen with the devil fruit because when Smiley blows up the big slime, a random apple in a cart
Oh,
like
yeah.
turns
Yeah,
into
it
the
turns
fruit.
into a devil fruit. Yeah, yeah.
Mhm. So that's just like a really like subtle like blink and you'll miss it detail, and she's like,
Well, I
"What
noticed
the
that. Yeah,
heck
I
is
noticed that
up with
too,
these
and I
devil
was like, "What
fruits?"
the hell is that going on?"
Because they also do say like only like one devil fruit of each type can exist, but
Yeah.
they never said like when one person dies, like the fruit just pops out again.
Yeah, so it's like I was thinking like, oh wait, is like, did they like bury Ace and make a new like devil fruit tree out of it or something?
I don't know
was
if I like that.
I don't know if it was a tree though, because it was just like a random apple in a cart that turned.
Oh
into
yeah,
the
with
fruit.
that
It
one.
wasn't
Yeah. Oh
even,
yeah,
like-
true.
Oh,
I guess if
yeah.
that's the case with that. But yeah, so it's like, does Doflamingo have Ace's devil fruit? Is that like something that he's gonna have, or he's gonna give to somebody?
I don't know.
Well, he can't eat it, right? Because he already has devil fruit.
Yeah, he can't too, can he? Have they
I
explained
mean,
it?
Blackbeard has two.
Yeah, they've explained that if you have two, like they explained that in like what, with the shave people, like the
With the
cool-
CP9, yeah.
Yeah, CP9, that's what they're called. Yeah, that, like if you take more than one, you might like just explode and melt or
Okay, but
something.
also to be fair, like that was what's his face, the wolf dude saying that, and the wolf dude also like
Oh, he could be lying.
Oh, were
It's
the
true.
CP9?
like
Oh, sorry.
the wolf dude was also just like super scared of the fruit. He was like, "Don't bring it near me," and then someone else was like, "That's just a rumor."
Oh, yeah.
It could be
Did,
a rumor.
Did the CP9 guys have the fake devil fruits or the real ones?
They had real ones.
Oh, okay. Because they've established that Vegapunk was like making fake devil fruits.
Yeah,
Yes,
only
So-
they're artificial devil fruits.
they're
Uh-huh.
artificial Zoan ones.
Oh,
Yes.
only but that was what all the CP9 guys were.
Oh,
So
that's
No.
true. But I don't think they had
'Cause
artificial ones.
The girl had a soapy one.
oh
That's true,
yeah, you're
I
right.
think
Never
that
mind,
they were
yeah.
all legit.
Yeah.
We will eventually
And
see people with
Portal.
artificial devil fruits. So far, we've only seen Momonosuke, the samurai's son, eat the artificial devil fruit, which they said was from Vegapunk.
I feel like devil fruits aren't like the actual physical thing of a devil fruit have not been very prevalent in this story. Like it's most of the time you see them after somebody's consumed it, or
Yeah.
like, you know, they've
Well,
kind of
I
been
think
mentioned
that kind of
mostly.
makes sense because, like, why would you just hold on to a devil fruit? you
Well,
know?
it'd be like if people were like
That would
selling
be
them or something. Like it has never been like established that there's a market for them or
Mm.
anything. Like yeah, I guess like people just consume them.
Yeah, that would be pretty interesting if you could like hire a militia to like all have devil fruits, huh? And you
I'm
just
waiting
like
for
farm
gear.
them.
I'm waiting for gear 10.
Gear
Let's let,
10.
let's let Luffy just go Super Saiyan 80.
And
Hell
he
yeah.
eats another devil fruits. He'll eat the fire fruit and the ice fruit and the magma fruit.
Oh my god, the Elemelons.
Yeah, the
Oh my
elementals.
gosh. Gear
Only
Infinite.
Luffy, master of all 4 elements, could stop him.
Yeah, Luffy's gonna go Gear Blue or whatever Goku
Blue,
Yeah.
goes.
Bluefy.
Saiyan blue.
Luffy, holy shit.
Wiggly Blue.
You should write with Oda. Oda should write.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the concept of the devil fruits is interesting. It's like a really cool world building idea that I like want to see them explore more, but it's kind of just like played to be like the power ups in the story so far. But I like the fact when I saw like I got pretty giddy when I saw him holding that devil fruit. I was like, oh, we're like, this is way more interesting because that looks like aces. Like,
yeah, I don't know.
or when they mentioned that they could artificially make devil fruits, I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like, holy shit. Like, that could add really, like, a lot of levels to this stuff.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
in the middle, like they kind of introduced devil fruits as a cool power at the beginning, and then they kind of switched gears to like learn about hockey for a while, and then now we're kind of back to looking at devil fruits again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, like, do they address in Fishman Island at all that Sanji has hockey?
They-
just
Uh,
only because like somebody asks Luffy like who in your crew, I think it's Law, asks who in your crew has hockey, and Luffy says me, Sanji, and Zoro, and I was like, I know Zoro and Luffy
I
have
think-
it, but
Yeah, Zoro has hockey. He has the armor type hockey.
yeah.
And I think he showed it with his swords in the fight against
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. I got that Zoro had. I guess
Oh.
Sanji has it. I guess I believe
I
that
don't
he
know
does.
if it was explained. Yeah, he does.
I just didn't. I just don't remember anyone mentioning it until Sanji. Or,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Luffy being like, "Yeah, he has it." I guess maybe he can tell because he's like king hockey.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or maybe they've shown him. They probably had a conversation off screen like, hey, Luffy, I learned hockey too. And he's
Yeah,
like,
that's
cool.
true. They never really tell the audience like, "Hey, these are all the things I learned during training." We're
Yeah.
just kind of learning
Yeah,
them
or, like,
slowly. They're drip feeding it to us.
They've pretty. It's like something I'm a little disappointed with if I had to like nitpick on One Piece is like they don't have a lot of downtime on the ship,
Yeah.
but it's kind of
Yeah.
implied there is like in
Yeah.
between arcs, but you just kind of skip to when it needs to be important again. So I'm like,
Yeah,
man,
that's why I said like that's kind of what anime filler helps it is to give us
Yeah.
more downtime with the characters.
Wow.
that'd be nice. I feel like there's a nice that gives a little bit more adventure-y feel when you're like traveling. Like the traveling is a big part of the
Mhm.
story, but
Yeah.
it's mostly just the action set pieces and stuff at this point.
Right. I mean, I
Yeah.
guess I could just go watch the fillers.
Yeah.
If I wanted to.
I really don't like the way the One Piece anime looks. Every time I watch a clip, I'm like, ugh.
Yeah, because some of the
just-
character models are really off, especially
Yeah.
the women. They make their chests extremely large, and then they're like,
Yeah.
there's some shots where
I
their
saw-
arms are
oh
like
my
these
God.
don't even look like human arms.
I saw a few clips from Punk Hazard because I was curious, and like just a few clips with Robin, and I was like, oh my god, they're so
Mhm.
horny.
Or I've
Like,
seen a shot of like Nami who looks like she has Frankie like proportioned arms. It's like what the heck? It's just to make her boobs look bigger. It's like,
Yeah.
oh my god.
yeah, just like I feel like it isn't a great translation of Oda's style too. It's like he's such a comic book artist. Like he does so many like hash lines and very comic book y kind of like posing and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like it's probably the best they could do, but I'm always like pretty disappointed when I see a scene from One Piece from the manga. I
think
like I
The
watch the
beginning
anime.
of the anime did pretty well with sticking with the style. Then in the middle, they started phoning it in really
Mm.
hard.
Yeah, because I mean like
But
at
Wano,
some-
they made it really good again. Wano, they
I've
brought
seen
it
that.
pretty
Yeah, I've
well.
seen clips with Wano, and I'm like, God damn! Like,
Mhm.
I'm probably gonna like watch and read that part from what my friend told me. He's like, that's a good idea because it's really good. So
Yeah. I
um,
want to go rewatch Wano.
you wanna go rewatch?
Yeah, it's all done.
What you wanna do?
Wano, watch Wano.
Wano, watch Wano.
Is it over? Is the animes? Is the
No,
Wano
no,
arc
no, no.
over?
They're actually getting to the most hype part of like the final fight.
Oh
Yeah.
damn!
I'm so hyped.
That's so cool.
That's cool.
That must be exciting. Like I wish I was there.
I will say, I think
Maybe we'll get there eventually. don't
Oda
worry.
has spoiled me a little bit when it comes to shonen manga, how it's drawn, because I'm reading various different kinds of shonen manga right now for secrets, but I'm like, wow, Oda goes so much harder on his backgrounds than a lot of these artists.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he goes so hard with the
Yeah,
backgrounds.
it's just like making me feel like I'm really in this world. Um, yeah.
I don't think Oda even draws the backgrounds either. I think he has
No.
like a team for that.
Yeah,
Oh
now,
yeah,
now
for sure.
for
For
sure.
sure. Mangakas definitely
Absolutely.
have it for that.
He would.
But I think in general, like One Piece does world building so much better than a lot of other shonen.
Yeah.
I would say a lot of other pieces of media, honestly.
Oh yeah,
Like
absolutely.
One Piece has some of the strongest world building I've seen in this series in forever. Like every it's so dense. I think the best word I can use for it is like everything has like purpose and meaning, and like everything has connections that don't
Yeah.
feel like just plot convenient. It feels like just this. There's just,
This is just how the world
a
is.
few times it does. I know there definitely when I saw Law show up in Punk Hazard, I was like, oh, what are the odds? Like
What are the odds?
kind of thing. But it kind of makes sense on why he's there. But it is kind of coincidental that Luffy just shows up in front of Punk Hazard and is like, hey, let's go there. It's like, oh wow, convenient. But overall, it's pretty good. They've also, you know, Oda does a pretty good job of character writing. So like having that many characters to balance and it's still being cohesive is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
It
it's
makes
still
the world,
giving characters like enough time to kind of do their own thing and
yeah,
show
it
their
makes the world
personality.
feel like having a
Right.
full dense world is a big part of it. So
Yeah. Yeah, it is a full world. Like things are happening that we don't even get to see.
yeah,
It's neat.
it's a cool cartoon world too. It's like someone
Yeah.
said in the chat, like Chaos said in the chat, it's got like wacky cartoony logic, but it's like that's cool. Like it's grounded in its cartoonishness in a good way. It's very very cool. They don't really ever step the boundaries with that. There's like parts where I'm like, wow, a character shouldn't have survived that. But like overall, it's always like the perfect amount of wacky and cartoony, which is cool,
Yeah.
especially for an anime. I don't know. It's like
Mhm.
healthy for this industry to have it. The most popular manga of all time is like pretty dang cartoony. I think that's kind of cool. Like
It's
pretty
true.
I
wacky.
think having it be cartoony also helps you like remember all these like hundreds and thousands of characters they have too.
Yeah.
It's
For
true.
sure.
I also like it does match the meme you shared, Toto, before stream. The 4 real world things you can learn from anime. But for the One Piece, it's like the world's largest military is nothing more than personal guards of the
Yeah.
billionaire class. They will commit genocide in order to enact. Yeah, it's
Yeah, I
like,
love
oh
that.
god. But then like for my hair, it's like always give it your all.
Yeah.
Volleyball.
Yeah, it's funny because I think One Piece just wears that better than a lot of cause I feel like a lot of shonen try to be like deeper than they actually are sometimes. Like because even in My Hero, there's like they're trying to say something sometimes, but usually it doesn't come off as well as One Piece. Like One Piece, it hits way better.
Yeah.
just
I
writing
think
prowess.
also it helps that One Piece isn't so realistic and is more cartoony because imagine if it was realistic, you know?
Yeah.
Like this would
such
be
a
an incredibly
downer.
like edgy, dark story, and you would
Oh
have
yeah.
no breathing room.
And honestly, I'm like a strong believer that you care about more stuff like that. Like when it's more funny and charming and like lighthearted, it gives you more flexibility to like have an emotional connection to it.
True,
So
true.
it's like why certain moments in One Piece people have said like I was bawling my eyes out. Like
Yeah.
no other media has hit me. Or like with like Mob Psycho, a lot of people say that with Mob
Oh,
Psycho.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
because I think Mob Psycho makes you laugh. Like making you laugh is a
Mhm.
powerful emotion. So it's like a show
You
that
like
can make
connect
you
with the
laugh
character.
will
Mhm.
always make you cry too, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Not always, but it can.
Captain
Mhm.
Ubisoft, Warrior of the Sea. So good king.
Yeah,
Warrior is
sometimes
so good
I think
king.
My Hero has some good world building elements, but every once in a while they'll establish something and then just forget about it, and it gets pretty like it's like what that was important. Why was that not mentioned again? And then like they'll like it's it's so funny because I'll get excited about certain things in My Hero where like recently they established that like they brought America into the picture, and I was like that's really cool, but that's like the bare minimum of something like One Piece would do.
Yeah.
Like I'm glad he's doing that, but it's like we're at the final part of the manga. Like this should have been like the rest of the world should have been established a while ago. I feel.
Yeah. I feel bad because we got really sidetracked, but we haven't given our star and slug ratings.
Yes.
Mhm.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I forgot. uh, so our star and slug ratings for Punk Hazard
Yep.
art.
So for those of you who don't know, star ratings are what we would give the like personal ratings. Slug is how much we would recommend for people from an objective manner.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
yeah, subjective and objective feelings towards
Mhm.
Yeah.
it. I don't
Who wants to
know.
go first?
Realm, would you like to go first?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Sure. So subjective rating, I would probably go. Yeah, I'm gonna say like, I think because of the good amount of content it provided and it wasn't too long. Like for some reason, part of me says it should have been longer to push things, but at the same time, I would have really drudged through if it had been any longer.
Mm.
So I'm gonna say probably a 7,
Hmm.
given just the
Mm.
sheer amount of things, and coinciding with my slug rating. I would give it like an 8. I'm almost at like an 8.5 because at one point I'm just like, I really was like struggling to read through it. I just like it. I don't know. It just didn't work for me. But I was reading online, and of course everyone's just like, no, the sheer amount of things this arc shows you, you need to absolutely get through it. And I'm just like, all right. So like and then knowing some rudimentary stuff, I didn't spoil myself too much, but knowing what's coming up is just like, yeah, that's really cool. Like you guys mentioned earlier in the stream, like drop of a hat, quick little blips of information or blips of just like little side bits that actually kind of mean something. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I think if you're certainly in here this far, um, as much as it might like, pile on at some point, do not skip it.
Yeah.
Mm. I will go next. I am the opposite. I think you can skip this arc
Oh no.
and come back to it later and see like interesting stuff. If you're like, so my slug rating for this is pretty low. It's like a 5. This is not a good intro to like One Piece stuff. Like, I think the problem I have with this arc is it's a little messy with how many like characters and plot lines it kind of throw at you. There's like the lab stuff, there's the children, there's the Marines, and then there's like this random samurai dude, and then there's like a dragon, and then there's like this nuclear salamander. It's a lot.
There's a
And
lot.
it doesn't all like fit together very well. It kind of fits with like the samurai's son being one of the kids, but I almost feel like he should have been like one of the kids who was taking the candy. That would have made that like emotional beat much stronger, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But because he's separate from that, there really isn't like an emotional core to this arc. Like unlike Arabasta, where you're invested in like Vivi's struggle, or like Marine Ford, where you're like invested in Ace's struggle, at the start of this arc, there's really no one to be invested in. Like you get the help signal, and that would have been great. And you meet a character like that Oda can make you care about because he's very good at making you care about characters. But it turns out that the people who called for help were just like the evil scientists who were getting blown up by Caesar himself, and we
Yeah.
never really care about them that much.
Yeah, maybe
It's
Law
just
possibly you would
yeah,
care
maybe
about, but
Law.
like you don't really get his like backstory or anything
Yeah,
here. So
Law at this point is still kind of an enigma if he's going to betray the Straw Hats or what's his whole deal. Um, so like I think, and there's like nothing, there's no like personal stakes for any of the Straw Hats here. You know, it
yeah,
almost feels like Oda did not write this arc. It felt like this was almost like a fan fiction written by someone else, if that makes any sense.
yeah, it
Well,
feels like it could have been a movie, like a non-canon movie
Yeah,
almost.
yeah.
If there wasn't much heavy plot, the fact that like they're fighting like a Vegapunk grunt feels very like non-canon movie
Yeah,
to
yeah,
me.
yeah.
You
It
know?
almost feels like either like Oda was super busy and like had someone else like write the story this time, and then once it didn't turn out like the like on his quality standard, he's like never again. Like I would not be surprised if that was what actually happened. I'm not saying that actually is what happened, but I wouldn't be surprised if he like later reveals that, because this feels very like Oda doesn't do this. He usually has some sort of like character that like we really root for. Even in like Long Ring Long Land, we get like a little invested in like the old man and his super long horse. I don't know.
True. That's true.
Yeah. So this arc just feels very impersonal and doesn't have that heart that a lot of One Piece arcs have. It has a lot of good plot setup, and it becomes important later, and definitely come back to it later. But I will say this is one of the weaker arcs. I'm gonna give it a 5 stars.
Dang.
Yeah, I'm pretty hard on this arc.
Like whip your hair. Like, yeah, I'm pretty artist.
Yeah, you can do kind of a big deal here. Come on, guys.
Fantastic.
Who's next?
Do you want to do it, or do you want to go last, Han?
I don't care. I don't have that much interesting to say, so it's up to you.
I don't think I do either. Well, maybe. I'll try. Here, I'll go next.
Yeah, go ahead.
So my personal rating, my star rating, I think is a 6. I think, okay. I think I liked it from like a One Piece still makes me feel like a happy feeling while I'm reading it, I guess. Like the art is really fun and like the concepts are so silly and Oda makes me laugh a lot. But none of the concepts that were thrown down really like meant a lot, except for like I'm sure a lot of there's like things that we'll see later on, but like why did they like body swap for no reason? Like there's a few other things like child slavery and experimentation is bad. Yes, I get it, but I don't know. There were a lot of cute moments, but a lot of it just was so chaotic and didn't make sense. And like there were things.
It felt like unfocused.
Yes, unfocused. Yeah. Like Brooke's over here doing this. The other Straw Hats are over here doing this.
Yeah, Brooke was so lame. Sorry.
I know. The other Straw Hats are over here like trying to figure out. It was just chaotic and hard to wrap my mind around. So it's a 6. I still like all the Straw Hats, and I liked all the characters. I especially like that Tashiki and Smoker got more like screen time, especially Tashiki.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I will say in Dressrosa they split up more, but somehow it feels more cohesive.
We'll see.
It's very interesting.
That was almost a problem with this arc, because I feel like they weren't split up, like, or they were split up, but like
in weird ways.
None of them were equally important, I guess.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, some of them weren't really doing important things. It was just kind of like, I'm gonna go over here and grab the samurai torso.
Yeah, I know there's like a criticism that Oda will like just take characters and not use them for a while, like even like main Straw Hats. But like, I don't even really mind that if like, because he's introducing so many new characters during an arc that it's like it's kind of nauseating when I'm like have to deal with a story of every Straw Hat as well. That's like, what were we at 8? Like that's like 8 characters. Like
Yeah. 9?
9 maybe.
9?
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, it's a 6 for star, and then like maybe like it's probably a 6 as well. Like I don't know. It still makes me feel happy to read it because it's One Piece and I like all the characters. But maybe you can. I don't know if you could skip it yet. I haven't read Dressrosa or any of the other arcs following, so we'll see. It's okay. Yeah. It's just okay. Yeah. That's my final take.
Yeah, pretty much.
Better than Whiskey Peak. For me, at least.
At least Whiskey Peak was like 9 chapters, though.
Yeah, true.
I was just gonna say, pretty much you like hit the nail on the head for me too. Trips. It's pretty much like a 6. Pretty mid. I don't know. I think it's similar where it's like I just like One Piece and I like the drama. I like the fun of like the scenarios. It's a good time to read it. Now I'm invested enough in these characters where I don't really care what they do. I'll probably enjoy it regardless. But like in terms of like a grand scope, like I finished that arc and I was like invested. I was reading it fast and I was liking it and having fun reading it. But in the end, I was like, yeah, wow, that was okay.
Yeah.
That was like that happened. I think the only criticism I was having during the arc was like, or the main criticism I was having during the arc was like, I just thought Caesar was really weak. I just thought like. He was like fine.
Okay for him to be weak. I think at this point Luffy is still
Well,
like in a low level area.
I guess like weak as in just like a boring villain kind of. Like
True.
I'm not crazy. It's same with Hody Jones. I like Doflamingo so much right now because I know it's in this awkward in between period where Luffy's really strong and he's not going to just immediately fight like stronger people because then they'll run out of people fast.
Yeah.
So you have to have situations where it's just about him getting to the guy and then he can just punch the shit out of him. But like he was like you knew like the entire time like yeah like this dude's going down once Luffy gets there. And like the only thing really stopping him was just finding him. Like,
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of tension. It was just
Yeah.
like Luffy just needs to get there.
yeah, and it was just kind of distractions along the way. So,
Mhm.
and honestly, if I had to like, I guess a 6 and then maybe like a 5 because I don't know. If I was being like, if you were really strapped for time and I had to nail down ones that you could skip, you could probably skip. You could probably get a summary of this arc. Like,
Yeah.
like I wouldn't say. I don't think you should.
Once the
skip
summary might
any.
make more sense without.
Yeah, I was like, you probably shouldn't. Yeah, because at the end of the day, you literally could sum this arc up as like, they go to an island, they find children that have been experimented on, it has to do with Vegapunk, and they all work for Doflamingo.
Yeah.
And like, and now
Like,
like,
meet Law there. and they
welcome
are, like,
yeah, welcome, like, yeah, they like sign, like, they have an agreement with Law, enter Doflamingo, like the end, like.
Well,
Like-
yeah, considering like the last like 8 chapters I had to get summarized because I just didn't have time, I would say
Oh yeah,
I agree a lot.
Oh,
yeah.
I was surprised because usually around here, like, you're harsher, and then we were like, yeah, it was good. So what was
So
it?
I just like I took it from a well, honestly, I'm feeling a little bit more of a 6 myself now, but I'm still
You could
keeping
change,
it on.
it's fine.
I'm still keeping it on a more. Okay, you know, I'm gonna go for a hot 6.5.
Okay.
Okay.
Only
Fair.
because I'm looking at it from the build-up perspective. Like I'm not very much one to look back, and I don't like watching things a lot, like on repeat. I only like a few things. So if I'm gonna read something, I'm gonna sit down and like read it because I'm not going back. So empirically, if I'm just like, all right, if I had to look at it and understand its contents, what did I find, or what are people telling me is like the best things you could take from it, or like, you know. So I'll take feedback. I'll take like everything else before I go through it, kind of like preparing myself, and then I don't know. It just the amount of stuff he crammed in surprised me for such a short arc.
Okay.
So I
that's
gave
fair.
it the author's nod of, well, you really did try. You really did put in a lot of stuff. You did. Whether or not it worked, because it certainly didn't work 100%, well, that, you know, that's up to the reader. But like, I just gave him props for trying that hard.
I almost
Yeah.
feel like it would have been better if the samurai was introduced in a separate, smaller, shorter arc, separate from
Maybe.
this.
I think that is definitely something. I don't think this arc needed to be 50 chapters. This arc could have easily been like half the length.
Yeah.
Like they
Have
probably
one
could
for
have
like
done that.
introducing Caesar Clown and the kids, and then maybe introduce Law and
I thought it-
Samurai before.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty needless. At one point they reach Caesar, and then they get like separated and they reach him again. And like when I got to the part where they reach him again, I was like, wait, what? Like, what was all that for? Like, it felt like they could have probably done everything they just
If
did.
this was like any other manga, I would be like, this is good shit. But because it's One Piece and we've been like after
the standards
like,
are so high.
after everything before with like Whitebeard and like even like I think Impel Down with how many characters they like reintroduce in Impel Down, like clearly Oda knows how to like make us care about characters we didn't even think of we would care about, like Buggy and Mr.
Yeah.
fucking 3 and all that. Like
I think Marineford was the craziest part of that.
oh
in my
yeah,
opinion,
and we
because
like
they
care about
introduced
Whitebeard so
yeah.
quickly.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but like between the beginning and the end of the arc, I was like a changed person. Like I completely changed my opinion on so many characters. It was really cool.
Right?
Yeah, I thought like it's interesting too because like it sucks because if I wasn't recommending this arc to somebody, I would be like, you are missing out on like pretty good moments with Law and the G5 guys, which is I think important because they seem like pretty important characters. Maybe they'll come back, but you know.
Mhm.
And I guess my rating is also like knowing what comes next, because I'm like looking at Dressrosa and I'm like, they introduced like 100 characters in Dressrosa or something crazy.
Goddamn.
And it's like,
Wow.
and I still love Dressrosa and I care about a lot of these characters. It's like, what happened here? Oh, you're better than this.
Oh, you're
Yeah.
better than
It feels like, and
Better.
especially towards the end, I definitely like the most excited I was getting was stuff about Dressrosa. So I was like, oh, this arc it's not like 100% set up. Like it doesn't feel like set up like Water 7 does,
Yeah.
but it definitely is like almost like Oda was writing Dressrosa while drawing this arc and was like I don't have time to make this arc like more thorough. Like I'm just gonna focus on Dressrosa, but just pump this one out while I'm doing that.
He's also publishing it weekly, so he probably changed his
Well,
mind.
yeah.
Like,
Now, honestly, I mean, it's like as much criticism as we're saying about this arc, it is still astounding that I could be as invested in this series as
It's
I am,
true.
considering it comes out weekly and it's like no breaks, like it's constant. So
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive. I still think in this arc still does have really good world building. Like I still do think it's really cool, like what they've established, especially with stuff like the devil fruits. Like that's starting in this arc, so that's pretty neat. Like that Oda can still keep me intrigued. So,
Yeah, I agree totally. Yeah.
not all the Straw Hats had to be there either. They could have stayed the ship.
Yeah.
Brooke could have stayed.
Yeah. Poor Brooke.
They should have done something where like Brooke and like immediately they should have been like, well, Brooke and like Frankie don't get affected by poison, so they should stay there. But I guess Brooke does get affected by poison. Maybe I don't know. Like,
Maybe he gets infected.
And ruined Saffron.
Oh no, they all got affected by sleeping gas, but not poison.
I think it's because he's still made of organic material.
Yeah.
Oh,
He was fine because of it. That's why Frankie was fine.
yeah.
oh, Frankie. Oh, okay, Frankie.
And he went into his robot tank, his General Frankie.
Yeah, definitely. I think Chopper was important here. Usopp, unfortunately, I don't think was important here. Like, he did not have to be there for the most part. Like, he was pretty, like, whatever. And, like, you know, Zoro was important,
Nami
and
got
Sanji.
emotions. Yes.
Yeah, Nami was important to be there. But, like, some of the characters, I'm like, yeah, why were they? Like, I guess they were here because they're the Straw Hats. But it's like, sometimes too much is not good. So I'm like...
Yeah.
At least if you're saying in Dressrosa they split up, at least if they're like completely split up, it can be like the antagonist focus and like the main thing can be like focused on Luffy and a few other characters.
Okay, well, let's have predictions then for Dressrosa. What do you guys think is going to happen? We're clearly going to face off with No Flamingo.
I have no idea. I think Luffy will fight.
Okay, wildest guess. What
Flamingo.
kind of island do you think it's going to be? What's going to happen?
Well, the Don Quixote thing is pretty good observation. I didn't even think about that. So is it like medieval kind of?
Well, I think if you look at how Doflamingo dresses, maybe it's a summer island, but I don't know.
Yeah, they do have seasonal islands.
He does dress he's awesome looking.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
don't know.
impossible stand
And then-
female in Doflamingo's body.
I have seen one character in like, I'm gonna be very vague, quote unquote armor in like pictures and stuff, but I don't know if that's from this arc or not.
Oh.
So that just the Don Quixote thing made me think like, oh wait,
Luffy
maybe.
wears armor and Thriller Bark.
Hair.
Wait, what, Toto?
Character have pink hair.
Yes.
Okay, I know exactly who you're talking about. And yes, this
You don't. Oh, this is the arc. Okay, so you don't have to tell me, but that's fine. That makes sense then.
Going to fight a windmill. That's the only thing I know about Don Quixote. So that's what Luffy's gonna do.
Well, they already met a windmill man.
Oh yeah.
You're so right. I didn't even think about that.
That's what I thought you meant. I'm like, he's gonna fight that guy again.
That's the only thing I know about Don Quixote, though. So shrug.
Isn't it like it's medieval, right?
It's like, yeah, I guess it's medieval.
It's like knights, not knights,
Well,
but like
okay.
sword stuff.
No, Don Quixote is like post-medieval.
Yeah.
It's like making fun of like chivalry.
Yeah, it's
And who's like a quote-unquote knight, but really he's just delusional. And his princess is just some random lady he has a crush on. And he saves her from a giant, which is just a windmill. But then the windmill knocks him over. He's like, a wizard has cast a spell on the giant and transformed it into a windmill.
Interesting. I just feel
My
like, yeah.
squire.
Wonder if aesthetically it'll match or something. But
I don't know.
Yeah, I think the only thing I'm thinking about right now in my head, and I haven't seen it since like 2012, is one of the openings. I think is Dressrosa opening, and it was like the newest opening like the newest anime opening at the time for One Piece. I think I remember watching it back then, and I remember some of the visuals, but I don't know anything. I barely remember what the aesthetics are. Like,
Eh. I don't know.
we'll see.
Got any
What do you
theories,
think?
Ro?
Any new theories?
So I believe that because considering he presides over a city and he has these invisible strings, I feel like he's gonna make it some sort of like elaborate maze
Mm.
that it's like he reminds me of the villain who just like tells the princess that she's like a bird in a cage.
Oh.
So I think something's gonna happen with the wires that will just like make the whole city.
Like, does he have wires? I never even noticed that.
That's because you don't see the wires, okay? You're not supposed to see the wires in the action movie, okay?
Oh, is it like has that been explained? I don't even remember
Not
that.
explained yet.
I was like desperately trying to see if I was missing something in his power, and I was like, wait.
Really close, so you
No,
can
I just-
see
I
the
just, like-
wires he's using.
Yeah, I just sort of use process of elimination.
Well,
Oh, maybe.